Neo's got the mic, he's taking charge. Carl's geeking out, his knowledge large. Ryan's dropping facts like a game pro. On Party Chat, we'll steal the show. Plug in your headphones, feel the beat. Talking games with passion can't be beat. From launch parties to quests untold, Party Chat's the place to be, we're bold. Favorite games of all time, pixelated worlds and icy climbs, controllers and joysticks we adore. Level up with us, there's so much more. Plug in your headphones, feel the beat. Talking games with passion can't be beat. From launch parties to quests untold, Party Chat's the place to be, we're bold.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Tuesday to you all, and it is time for another Party Chat, the last one of the year. What's up, Carl? How you doing tonight?
I'm okay. I've been up since about 2:30 in the morning, so pretty good.
Oh, okay. So you'll have to rub that in Ryan's face. So good to have you here for the final show of the year. And unfortunately, Ryan will not be able to join us because he got called in suddenly at around 2 o'clock this morning and had to work a long shift and is helping getting his family ready for Christmas. So he won't be joining us. But we got an awesome guest tonight who I've been talking with a lot behind the scenes. Thanks to Carl. He introduced me to him. And this guy is doing some awesome stuff. And that is Tyler from GameSHLF, calling himself Odd Job and Carl 007. Oh my goodness, what are you guys doing? What's up, Tyler? How's it going?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're celebrating the greatest Nintendo game out there.
You guys, I bet you were probably planning on having Ryan join you for rubbing this in my face, were you not?
Yes.
So at least there's one less instigator on the panel tonight. But shout out to Ryan. Hope he's doing good tonight, because for anyone who's been around here for any amount of time knows that while I love GoldenEye, Perfect Dark is better in every way, and Ryan loves to argue that point, despite the fact that he's never actually played Perfect Dark. So we got a couple of GoldenEye lovers here. I should ban you guys all immediately.
Solo show. Let's go, Neo.
So, hello, Carl 007, Odd Job, who was the guy. I was that guy. I always played as Odd Job. And my favorite character in Perfect Dark was basically the Perfect Dark Odd Job equivalent was Elvis the Alien. He's also very short.
See, Nerd Takes knows.
So we got Nightmares and Chats, and can't stick around but have a good stream. Well, thanks for just dropping by, Nightmare. Hope you have a Merry Christmas. And Nerd Takes is here. What's up, Nerd Takes? Good to see you. GoldenEye is the GOAT. Almost. Perfect Dark is better, but GoldenEye is great. So, so for anyone who doesn't know, people know Carl and I, but our guest here, Mr. Tyler from GameSHLF, I've been shouting it out a few times here and there. I've got the link to it in most of my streams. But Tyler, why don't you give us a little rundown of what GameSHLF is to anyone who doesn't know?
Yeah, so GameShelf is just a place to be able to track your video games, just your collection, go ahead and rate things and things like that. It's just a way I mean, you can use it however you want. You can track your games, track what you've beaten, all that kind of stuff. And recently, actually, with the help of Neo, we've been adding a lot of achievements as well. So now you can actually track your Steam achievements and your Xbox achievements. And for the completionists out there, we are now giving you a golden badge if you complete an Xbox or on Steam, as I know Neo has a few of those.
Yeah, so he's building this website. It's still in beta, but we've been talking a lot. I've been giving him ideas, and whenever I run into bugs, I let him know. But you can basically catalog your entire games library across all platforms and what you own it on. So ones that, yeah, as you said, like ones that you've played that have he's got Steam achievements and also working on Xbox achievements. So if you've platinumed it, it's got the gold icon. If you just got achievements in it, it's green for Xbox and blue for Steam. But yeah, so I basically logged all the games I have access to across all platforms, and it's got some cool stats and stuff, and you can review them and rate them and log how many hours you have in each one and just what platforms you own them all on. And yeah, GameShelf is awesome. So go check out GameShelf and sign up for it and start logging your library of games, because it's freaking awesome. So thanks to Carl had Tyler on his show a few months back, and that's how I found out about it. So thank you, Carl, for bringing him onto your show and introducing me to GameShelf.
Yeah, no problem. I didn't do anything.
You guys are too nice.
Why is it always does that? Every time I screen share, it puts me front and center. So glad you could join us tonight. Thank you guys for being a little flexible, because this was supposed to be last Tuesday, but I didn't realize until like last minute that I had family stuff going on Tuesday night. That was very important. So thanks for being flexible and being able to push it back a week, especially since we're less than 2 days from Christmas.
Yes, indeed.
No problem.
So, but all right. So before we get into our topics for tonight,
yeah, it's less than 2 days for Christmas. You couldn't come up with a Christmas question either.
I did not even cross my mind until just now when you said it. I should have. So shame on me. I did not even think about that. But before we get into our topics, we do first off go around and talk about what we've been playing lately. But in addition to that, since it is the end of the year, I had a couple of quick questions that I'd like to hear from you guys as well while you're talking about what you've been playing. So in addition to what you've been playing lately, what game did you spend the most time in this year? What is a game that you played this year that you just want to give a shout out to because it needs more attention? And then lastly, what's a game that came out this year that you wanted to play but you didn't get around to it? So,
Tyler, how about you go first?
All right. We'll say, well, the easy one for me, because we talked about this a little bit, but Blueprints is the game I would shout out.
okay.
I know a lot of people have heard about it, but
I'm
yeah,
very interested in it, but have not played it.
Yeah, it's a great little puzzle game that it has a little bit of rogueliteness to it. But yeah, it's a really fun time. The game I've probably put the most time in this year, oh man, probably Mega Bonk, which I also talked about on Carl's show. And I know it's kind of like a brain dead game, but maybe that's why it's so easy to put so much time into it. Trying to get all the achievements there. I'm not usually achievement hunter, but sometimes I'll have a game and I'll get towards the end. I'll have 10 left. I'm like, well, at this point, I've just got to buckle down and do it. So working on that one. And then a game that I didn't get around to playing, but I want to. Come back to me on that one. Let Carl go for a second. I'll actually jump on the GameShelf and figure that out.
And then what also have you been playing lately?
Oh, yeah. Well, I've been playing a lot of games lately, just kind of jump around. Actually, you know what? I'll shout out Metroid Dread. Okay. I just played that for the first time. It was on my backlog, since it came out. And had not really been avoiding it, just didn't feel like I had a great reason to jump into it quite yet. And with Metroid Prime 4, I really want to give that one a shot. So I was like, well, it's time. I'll give this a go. And I loved that game. Metroid Dread was a blast. It was one of those games that I couldn't stop thinking about when I wasn't playing it. And I can't believe I waited so long to play it.
I only played it for the Metroid being my second favorite franchise of all time. I only played it last year for the first time. But that's because I didn't get a Switch until last year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a good time for sure.
Well, good stuff. That's a good game. So, all right. Well, we'll come back to you on the what you missed out on this year that you didn't get around to playing. But Carl, what have you been playing lately?
Oh, I've just been playing the Tomb Raider series, the new modern series, I guess you'd say, the 2010 series.
Okay.
So I beat the first one a couple days ago. I keep losing track of time because now I'm on holiday break, so everything's kind of a blur. And I've been playing the Rise of Tomb Raider right now.
Okay.
And I've been enjoying that one. I started the Baba Yaga DLC, so that's where I started earlier this morning.
Yeah, I have all those rebooted, the rebooted trilogy, but I have not played them yet, so they're on the backlog.
Yeah, I've been trying to flex my Game Pass Ultimate points. So every morning I wake up and I'll play, a little bit of Age of Empires, a little bit of Age of Mythology, kind of ping pong back and forth for a little bit of those to get my PC points, and then I'll go and sit down and play, whatever my big console game is. And currently it's just that, just Age of Empires. I beat the first African campaign for the Mali Empire. So, though, I gotta say this. Age of Mythology is so much faster than Age of Empires. I forgot how slow Age of Empires can be. And Age of Mythology is just everything's cranked up to 10, so you can get out there and you can fight more. Versus Age of Empires, it's very slow and methodical. How you have to farm your civilization up to a good standing before you can really run over people. But yeah, and I've still been playing Paper Mario, Origami King, here and there.
Okay.
That's been my lay in bed and then quickly pass out listening to stories about mimics and skinwalkers.
It looks like Nerd Takes just beat the first in the rebooted Tomb Raider trilogy last week as well. So look at that. You guys both played it about the same time.
Yeah, it's funny. I posted a short of it where my game kind of tripped out and Laura decided to yeet herself just going down this thing. It's on my YouTube channel, and he was like, "Oh, I had the same thing happen to me."
That's funny.
I was like, I see. I actually really like these Tomb Raider games. They remind me of Uncharted, and I know a lot of people don't like that. But generally speaking, I think I've had more fun playing Tomb Raider Uncharted than Uncharted.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then what about is there a single game? If there was, what game have you put the most time into this year?
Geez, everything. It feels like it's been a lot of, just overall time I put into a lot of games. Like Age of Empires, I would say put a lot of times in that. Age of Mythology, definitely put a lot of time into that. Assassin's Creed Origins, because I got the Platinum Trophy for that, so that wasn't a small feat. Plus Pokemon ZA, I put a lot in there too.
That was when Tyler said that he's not much of an achievement hunter. I was going to say that's kind of like with Carl, but he doesn't typically go for 100%, but he did for Assassin's Creed Origins recently.
Yeah, I've just been putting a lot of time into a lot of games, I guess, recently. The Pokemon series, I definitely put a lot of time into that in general. If you want to, say, a game series I put in, because I started with Pokemon Yellow, and I made it all the way to Sun and Moon, and I just beat ZA, and I basically got 100% on ZA, so everything there is, probably combined hundreds of hours just on Pokemon this year.
Yeah, that actually just gave me an idea for a future party chat topic.
All right.
So okay, yeah, I know you started out with Pokemon and been playing a lot of those. So that if there was a series that you put the most time into, that would have been my guess.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and then I think I know what you're gonna say, but what's a game that that you played this year that you just want to give some more attention to?
There was a few. I did a shout out on our Game of the Year recap one, and I guess I'll say it again here too. But you know what? No, I'll change it up. I would like to give a shout out to Monster Hunter Stories.
Okay, I thought you were gonna go with Puppeteer.
No, I've given enough love to Puppeteer and Scarlet Hollow. but I'm going to say Monster Hunter Stories because now it's on everything. They just brought it 1 and 2 to Xbox in November. Number 3 comes out next March. So yeah, it's a great time to get into the games. If you're looking for a fun JRPG that is kind of Pokemon-like and is very fun and actually pretty good for a spin-off game, this is the one to do it. Especially if you like the Monster Hunter aesthetic, but you suck at Monster Hunter. This is a good way to get into it.
Okay. Monster Hunter Stories, nice. And then what is a game that you missed this year that you wanted to play but didn't get around to?
Oh, there was a game. I'm trying to think of it off the top of my head.
Want a few minutes to figure that one out.
Yeah, give me a second. I gotta look at the game.
Pass the
All
book
right.
back. I got.
No
mine
worries.
ready.
Well, I'll go through some of my stuff, then we'll give one last round to you guys for that answer. I see Black Belt Timon is in chat. What's up, Timon? Haven't seen you in a while, but hope you're doing well. Merry Christmas to you, buddy. Nerd Take says it was the Game Award announcement that made me want to play them again. Oh,
Yeah.
the Tomb Raiders. Oh, yeah, because they just announced 2 new Tomb Raider games, which look pretty good.
Yeah, they look great.
So, as for myself, the thing that I've been playing, I don't know about the most recently, but I did just beat Metroid Prime 4 earlier today. I was planning on beating it last night for Metroidvania Monday, but the green crystals are actually required to beat the game. And I found what I thought was all of them. And I'm like, I think my game is glitched because there are no more left. And I figured out that once you get the power bombed, there's these rocks that are out in the desert that also will give you more crystals. So I ended the stream, got the rest of my crystals off stream, and then I just went on stream basically for the final boss fight and finished that off today. So without any spoilers, I liked it. It was good, not great, but I enjoyed it. I went into depth on my thoughts on it at the end of the stream, but I'm sure I'll go more into that probably on our next backlog battling next year. But I just finished that today, and then the other thing is I just started playing through Hellblade again because I played I haven't played the second one yet, but I played the first one back in let's see here, how long ago was that? A number of years ago.
It had to be like 2018 at the earliest.
Let's see here, Hellblade. Yeah, here we go. I played it in 2022, so it's been a few years. And due to true achievements, they have targets each month that you can get medals on your profile if you complete the targets. And one of them was for getting a certain amount of achievements that have the letters B, E, and LL in them, or games that have them. And Hellblade has all of those letters in it. So like, that's a short game. I'll go ahead and play through Hellblade again, the Windows version this time, and then I'll go right into Hellblade 2, which I haven't played. So just started that up. I'm in Chapter 5. It's not a long game, so I'll get through that fairly quickly. And then after I get through Hellblades 1 and 2, I'm immediately going to follow that up with the other game that I always group it together with because it's like a similar AA studio and kind of an underrated, where I've also played the first one, but not the second one, and that is the Plague Tale. I'm going to play Plague Tale again for the first, and then I'll play Plague Tale 2 for the first time, which I know how much you love that game, and I love the first one. So I'm looking forward to immediately following that up with Plague Tale 2. And then I'll be ready for whenever the next one comes out next year. Let's see here. And then is there anything else that I've been playing recently? Oh, and I finished it a couple days ago, but I basically put Ninja Gaiden 4 on the back burner now. I've beaten it, and I've got about 80% of the achievements. Some of the remaining achievements are kind of difficult, so I'll go back to them eventually. But that's another thing I was playing a lot of up until just probably about the day before yesterday. So, but as for me, for those other topics that I mentioned, the game that I spent the most time playing this year, very easily, Tony Hawk 3+4, because basically since the day it came out, I've had it my quick resume, and I've been playing it almost every day. Because there's an achievement for completing the entire game with all 30 skaters. So it's a lot to do, which I don't mind because I really enjoy the game. And so I just keep it in quick resume, and I play it for maybe like 5 or 10 minutes almost every day. So it's easily my most played game this year. And Tony Hawk 1+2 was my most played game last year for a very similar reason. But having a lot of fun with that. Then probably my second most played game this year is Mega Man Powered Up because I've been playing that a lot as well. Haven't played it in a week or so, but there's a lot to do in that game as well. So I've been playing through that one a lot as well. But yeah, Tony Hawk 3 and 4 has been my most played game. And then a game that I played this year that I just want to give more attention to is I think I got Tyler to buy this when I mentioned it when he spotlighted me on GameSHLF, and that is Exophobia. It is there's only a couple hundred people who have played this game across all platforms, from what I can tell. And it's basically if you took the original classic Doom from back in the 90s and made it a Metroidvania, but instead of fighting demons, you're fighting aliens. So it's a first-person shooter, pixel art, and it's a Metroidvania. And it's been a lot of fun. And I'm probably the foremost expert on it in the world who isn't the developer himself. So if that sounds interesting, I say go check out Exophobia. I've made a bunch of videos on it as well for collectibles and stuff because there's barely any information about the game out there. And then the games that I wanted to play this year that I didn't get around to, far and away, number one was Doom: The Dark Ages, but I will be playing that very early next year. I did not get through the Doom franchise because I'm doing them all in order, so I didn't get to Doom Dark Ages yet, but I will be doing that very soon. And then a couple others that I really wanted to play was Revenge of the Savage Planet, which is a sequel to Journey to the Savage Planet, which is one of my favorite Metroidvanias. And I know I'm going to have a lot of fun with that one. And then Ninja Gaiden Ragebound and Shinobi Art of Vengeance. I really wanted to play those, but neither of them are on Game Pass. And I'm patient and frugal, so I will have to wait till they go on a good sale till I can pick them up. But very much looking forward to playing those. I've heard lots of good things. So what about you, Tyler? You figure out what game came out this year that you wanted to play but didn't get around to?
Yeah, the one that comes to mind is Pokemon ZA. I mean, I love Pokemon. I play every one of them. But the last 4 years maybe, my kids are really into Pokemon too. I have 11, 12, and a 4-year-old, but my 11, 12-year-old are really into it. And so every year we get for Christmas, whatever Pokemon game comes out. So I have it. I'm looking at it, but I don't touch it. It's really difficult because I really want to play it, and I hear so many good things. But I've been holding on to Pokemon ZA, so I'm excited to crack that sucker open in a couple days here.
Okay.
And then actually, a game you just mentioned is something that completely fell off my radar. But I do want to try that new Ninja Gaiden 2D game, Ragebound. That looks phenomenal. So,
Yes.
And I love that 2D, like Metroidvania, or even just that 2D action. I love that type of game. So
I was really hoping it was going to be a Metroidvania because
yeah,
it's not. It's just a stage-based, action platformer, which is still awesome. But I was really hoping it was going to be a Metroidvania because that'd be awesome. But it was not. But I'm still really looking forward to playing. I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah, same. It looks so good.
All right. And what about you, Carl? You got figure one out?
Yeah, Dispatch.
Dispatch.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a good one.
Yeah, that's one I want to play. I know Ando said it's like basically 1 hour per episode, so I kind of want to get into that, especially because it's a bunch of former Telltale devs. I've heard nothing but good things about it, so it's
Same.
definitely higher up on my radar. I have it. I bought it for PlayStation. It's just I'm hoping now that I got like the next 5 days off that I can really put in some quality time with some games. But my wife's birthday's tomorrow because she's a Christmas Eve baby. So
Oh, well,
Nice.
happy birthday to Mrs. RNG.
yes, Miss Sandra. You can call her Sandra. It's fine.
That's
Everyone
right.
knows her name. But yeah, we're that's on the to-do list. Kind of going back and forth between that.
Okay. Yeah, I like the Telltale game, so I look forward to playing Dispatch at some point. It's just not terribly high on my to-do list.
Yeah, I just bought the Expanse game that they did recently.
I have that one, haven't played it yet.
Yeah, I'm starting to gather let's play kind of games that are all on my list here. So
Okay.
that's one of them. I plan to stream next year on my Tuesdays when we don't do these shows.
All right. Speaking of Expanse, I think it's called Osiris Reborn is the game that's coming out next year in the Expanse universe. That game looks pretty dope. I'm very much interested and intrigued by that one.
Yeah, there was also that other one, not in the Expanse universe, but the Supermassive games that are kind of coming out with their own version of The Thing / Alien in their own style. So that looks interesting. I forget the name, what it's called, but I recently saw it again, and it's supposed to come out next year.
If I hear the name, I'll probably have heard of it. You said it was Supermassive?
I believe so, yes.
Supermassive Games.
Supermassive's new IP. It's a space horror game.
Oh, Supermassive is all one word.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
If you don't know what
Oh.
who Supermassive is, Until Dawn, Man of Medan, Little Hope, those are the games that they made. There's
Yeah,
like
Directive
pictures of those.
8020.
That's it.
Yes, I'm intrigued by that one as well. That one looks more on the scarier, spookier side of things. I'm still interested in it though. But yeah, if I had to pick, I'd definitely go with the
Why
Expanse.
are all my
one.
friends afraid of like spooky stuff? What the hell's wrong with all you guys?
So, all right. Well, I see Horny Alpha's in chat as well. What's up, Horny Alpha? Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. I haven't seen you in a while. Merry Christmas to you. Thanks for stopping by. So, all right. With that, we'll go ahead and get into our topics for tonight. As usual, I always like to give our guest the option to suggest a topic. And he said, how about what is a game that you had zero expectations for and ended up really enjoying? So, Tyler, since this was your topic, why don't you go ahead and kick us off?
Yeah, so I chose Sea of Stars, which I know isn't a tiny little, was a lot of people know about it, but
Yeah.
when I discovered it, I knew zero.
Okay.
It wasn't on my radar at all, and it caught my attention just because of the art style, and I also love turn-based fighting mechanics. Like I said before, a big Pokemon guy, even though it's the simplest of them all, but still fun. And so when I saw this on Game Pass, I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And it was one of those. Have you guys both played this game?
I have, but Neo definitely hasn't.
I have not.
Oh, Neo
but
doesn't like turn-based.
I will. I have a funny little story about this game that I will tell once you.
Once I
you're
gush. All
talking
right,
about it.
perfect.
Neo hates two things in life: the Japanese and the Italians.
And GoldenEye.
Yes, and GoldenEye.
All right.
I get the GoldenEye one, even though I don't hate it. I love the game. It's just not as good as Perfect Dark. The Japanese Italian one, I don't know where that came from.
Well, you don't like Mario's. That's what we've learned. So we
Okay.
figured it was the Italians, and you don't like anything
Oh.
JRPG like. So
Okay.
we just assume.
That okay. Now I track with you. That makes sense. All right.
There was a journey to get there, but no, yeah. So yeah, it caught my attention with the art style and that gameplay, and then I jumped in, and like I said, zero expectations, knew nothing. And for those who haven't played it, the Neos out there, it's like this just heartwarming, coming of age kind of story about these two people who, I mean, they're not really people though. They call them solstice warriors, but they're there to save the world essentially from what do they call him? I'm blanking. The Fleshmancer.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's what they call him. But he's like this guy who's trying to awaken like these dwellers, which are these giant mythological creatures, and he wants to awaken them so he can have the ultimate power. I mean, it's a pretty cliche scenario, and these, of course, children have to stop him. But it's really cool because it's like these two warriors, and the whole thing is they have this friend, Garl is his name, Carl with a G, and he is just the most like kind-hearted, like he just wants to be a part of the group type of guy. And so the whole thing is really about these warriors and how they're saving the world. But I like to think of it as a Garl story. And it's just about this guy who makes cookies and wants to be cool with his friends and have a good time and save the world because he's a good guy. But yeah, so Garl like saves them, gets his eye poked out in the beginning as they're children. They get pulled away, and he doesn't see him for years. And they go and train, and then they come back, and yeah, they save the world. And I don't want to go too far into it because I know Neo's going to play it one day. But
hold your breath on that.
Oh man, but it's just a very, very good, heartwarming story, and it has a great secret ending, which not a lot of games nail when they try to do it. But yeah, if you do like all the side quests, it has a really rewarding ending. And the music is really good in it. Like I've already said, the fighting is top notch when it comes to like turn based, and it has like one of, you know, you hit A at the right time to parry or to add an extra attack and all that kind of stuff. And it has actually a really cool like magic system where you power up your attacks. But yeah, it's, if you are into that JRPG SNES looking games, it is just phenomenal. And I've people compare it to Chrono Trigger. Never played the game in my life. I never tried, never was on my radar either. But after playing this and hearing the comparisons, it is in my backlog. But
I wouldn't
Yeah.
compare it to Chrono Trigger at all. I would compare it more to Paper Mario or Mario and Luigi more so than anything
Oh,
else.
okay. Well, I love Paper Mario. So that was another thing when I played this. I thought the same thing. It reminded me a lot of Paper Mario.
Yeah, it reminds me more of those. Like when someone said Chrono Trigger, I'm like, I played Chrono Trigger. I'm like, I don't see it. I don't see that one.
I hear that all the time.
I don't
when
know
talk about
why
it.
though. That's the first time I heard you. Like you told me that. But,
I've heard
Oh,
that a
really?
lot too, because obviously I've not played Chrono Trigger either, but I've heard a lot of people bring up Chrono Trigger when talking about Sea of Stars, and I know
Yeah, that's
Chrono Trigger
interesting.
is like regarded as one of the greatest JRPGs of all time.
yeah, I don't see the Chrono Trigger comparison. But
Yeah, well,
I
I'm going to
could see
try
the other
Chrono
ones.
Trigger, I guess.
You should. It's not that long of a game, and plus, you know, it's on Steam. It's a good Steam Deck kind of game, and kind of good,
Yeah.
you know, good ROG Ally now game.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, guess just to top this game off, one of the coolest things, I beat the game, and I talked about this last week on Carl's podcast. It's rare that I jump a lot. So I'll beat a game and I'll jump to the next one. I don't stick around and get all the achievements. I just want to play everything I can play. So I do a lot of jumping. But every once in a while, a game will capture me and I just have to know everything. And this was one of those games. And so I went down this rabbit hole of YouTube commentaries to try to understand. It's not a complicated story, but it's just so well done that I had to know more about it and see if there was anything else. And then come to find out, Sabotage, the studio who made this game, had this little game called The Messenger.
I will be talking about that
Yep.
in just a second.
That happened just a few years before this one that I also knew nothing about because I didn't really know anything that Sabotage had done yet. And I found out that Sea of Stars is a prequel to that. And the ending of Sea of Stars is great. So I was like, well, I have to see what happens afterwards. And it takes place like way after. It's like a whole different world. And it is a different genre of game.
Yep.
And when they did that, I mean, that was one of the coolest things. Like they're like, these worlds are connected, completely different games. Lucky for me, I enjoy both of the game styles. And so I was able to play both of them. I can understand maybe Neo doesn't like turn-based, and so he wants to know more about this world but can't. Or well, he can, but it might be painful. But yeah, so when I figured that out, and I went and played The Messenger, which I didn't enjoy as much as Sea of Stars, but it was still a very, very good game. And so that was just an awesome like icing on the cake moment for sure. And even like the way they intertwined some of the characters between the two games. You know, some are good in one game, they're bad in another. It was awesome. So they took me on a whole ride.
Okay. So me being a big Metroidvania expert, I played The Messenger when it was on Game Pass a few years ago. There was 2 stacks of it. There was the Xbox version and the Windows version. I did both of them. And then I have since bought it, so I do own it, even though I already completed it. It's a lot of people compare it to like NES Ninja Gaiden. Which I understand, it's a completely fair comparison. But the thing is that I played The Messenger because it's on Game Pass, and it was tagged as a Metroidvania. I'm playing through it for like 4 or 5 hours. I'm like, why is this considered a Metroidvania? This is a very linear, level-based, point A to point B, action platformer, but much smoother than original NES Ninja Gaiden. And then after about 5 or 6 hours into the game, it shifts and it becomes a Metroidvania. Sorry, it's a bit of a spoiler, but and then. It's a lot of people regard it like in their top echelon of Metroidvania games. It's good. I enjoyed it. I did it twice. It's not like amazing, but I did enjoy it. I wouldn't mind playing it again. But I think it was a little overrated by people in Metroidvania circles, at least. Still a good game, but being a fan, enjoying the game, and then hearing that, hey, there's another game in the same franchise that's coming to Game Pass. Sea of Stars. I was like, oh sweet, another Metroidvania. And then I looked into it, and it's a turn-based RPG. I'm like, oh, I lost all interest, and I have not played it because I have zero desire to play, that type of game. So I was excited when I first heard that there's another game in the franchise. Then I heard it's a completely different genre, and I'm like, I have no interest in that. So
Yeah.
But I have heard lots of good things from most people who have played it. But then we got Black Belt Timon in chat saying that Sea of Stars was the biggest letdown. There's no story. The thing that gives the name of the game is barely in the game. The battle mechanics are repetitive. The game is pretty, and that's it. The game pissed me off.
Yeah, he's got a therapy session going on there. That's for sure.
Which I totally get that, because not to that extent, but like a lot of people revere like Super Metroid as one of the greatest Metroidvanias of all time. It's like it's good. It's not like the best ever. It's good, but it's I wouldn't say it's aged badly. Not like the original Metroid. That game is aged horribly if it was ever good to begin with. But Super Metroid could definitely use a facelift, and it would be a much better game. So I totally get it, Timon. But comparing Sea of Stars to Chrono Trigger is like comparing the Gladiator to The Room.
It's not that bad.
Better saying The Room to Gladiator. Okay. That's a bit extreme from what I would presume, but to each their own.
Yeah, like Sea of Stars was just an okay game for me. I also didn't put in as much work into the game as Tyler here did, but I just thought it was okay. The other thing about Garl is that he just reminded me of Steven Universe, so I couldn't get that out of my head. I think that also kind of just ruined the game a little bit for me.
I've heard that name, Steven Universe. What is that?
It's that one show on Cartoon Network that had like the crystal gems and all that stuff. It had the fat pudgy boy with the shield.
Okay, it was a Cartoon Network show.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really what it was. I was like, man, this guy is just basically, they just took the idea of Steven from Steven Universe and made him into this game as one of your party companions, because everything he does is almost like Steven Universe.
He is more than a party companion. Take it back.
that's what it felt like. It's like he cooks food, he sings, he's got a shield. I'm like, oh, this guy's Steven Universe. He's almost in the same art style. Yeah, but like I said, it wasn't like a terrible game. I know they just released some DLC for it not too long ago, or is it coming out soon? I forget.
No, it's out, and a cool part about that is they actually added 3-player co-op as well. It's local co-op, so you have to couch co-op it up.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds interesting. It's
cool.
like a
Carnival
kind of game.
Title update and a DLC which came out in May.
Mm-hmm.
Did not know about that, but obviously I didn't follow this game, so that's easy. I would have missed that.
Yeah.
So, all right. I think I'll go ahead and go next. So,
I thought you already did yours. Never mind.
No, not for the first topic. No, Tyler went.
I thought you were talking about when you went into that deep dive about the messenger. I thought you were getting in there.
Oh, no, I was just talking about how I liked the messenger, and then I was disappointed when I found out that the sequel was a completely different genre. So no, that was not my pick. My pick is another game that I know that we are both fans of. We played it on stream. I think that was last year sometime. But so my answer for the question of what's a game you had zero expectations for and ended up loving. This is a game that the only reason I bought it is because it gave me access to the Halo 3 beta. And that was Crackdown. So I had zero interest in this game. The only reason why I bought it was to get access to the Halo 3 beta because I was a huge Halo fan. I was arguing with Nerd yesterday because we replied to some Twitter post about what's the best Halo game, and he's like, Halo 3 is forgettable. It's like, are you freaking kidding me? Get out of here with that crap. That game was freaking like a monumental time in the gaming industry. It's like that's basically when gaming peaked, and it's all been downhill since then. But yeah, a huge fan of Halo. I could not wait to play every second of the Halo 3 beta I could. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll buy this game if it gets me access to Halo 3 beta. And then I gave Crackdown a shot, and I freaking loved it. And it's up there in probably wouldn't say favorite games of all time, but the whole Crackdown franchise, I love all three of them. I've 100%ed 1 and 3. I haven't 100%ed number 2 yet because there are some really annoying multiplayer achievements. But I still enjoyed 2, which is kind of I think a lot of people consider 2 and 3 the black sheep of the family, and that only the first one is good. But the third one is good. I think it was just people's expectations were like too high given how long the game was in development. But it's just more of Crackdown. If you like Crackdown, you'll probably like Crackdown 3. But 2 just didn't do very much. It could have been like a DLC for the first one. Regardless, I still enjoy them all, have a lot of fun with them. And where I was going with that is that they're in up there for my top like open world games of all time. Probably be number 2. My number 1 is actually an answer to a question we'll have later on tonight. But the Crackdown games, I freaking love them. And thanks to Halo 3 beta, I got hooked into them. And I think you can, at least on Xbox, I think you can get Crackdowns 1 and 2 for free. They're just like permanently free. So if you go on the store, you can just acquire the license to it and play it. So if you haven't played it, it's basically, it's a lot of people compare it to GTA because it is kind of an open world like game like that, but I don't think it's like GTA at all. It's way more fun in my opinion because you actually, instead of playing as a bad guy, you're playing as a cop, and you go around and you can find orbs which level up your skills and make you more powerful. You can jump higher, make sure your vehicles transform into cooler things. The goal, at least the first one, is to take down the 3 different gangs, and there's like 3 islands, and each one is run by one of the gangs, and each gang has like 7 like gang leaders. You got to take out all the gang leaders to clear that gang from that island. So it's not very much story to it. It's just a lot of fun to go around and shooting crap loads of bad guys with superpowers essentially, and lots of guns. So it's a really fun open world like sandbox game. So thanks to Halo 3 beta, I fell in love with the Crackdown franchise.
No, I never played Crackdown, but when you describe it, it sounds a lot like Saints Row. Is it similar to the?
Yes, it's way more like Saints Row than GTA. But if you had superpowers, although I know one of the Saints Row games, you basically did have superpowers, so it's probably the most like that one. But I haven't played any of the Saints Row, so I can't say definitively. Yeah. But it's very much like tonally, it's similar to Saints Row. And they're all playable in at least 2, if not. I think the first one is only 2-player co-op, but Crackdowns 2 and 3 are both 4-player co-op.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Crackdown has kind of like the same feel. Have you ever played a game called Hulk's Ultimate Destruction?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it kind of plays more like that, but with guns.
Nice.
That's on my backlog because everyone relates Prototype to Hulk Ultimate Destruction. I'm a fan of Prototype as well. So it's like, oh, you got to play Hulk Ultimate Destruction. So I will at some point. I just don't know when.
Mm. So
if anyone ever wants to play some Crackdown, let me know. It's a fun game. Just hop in, just blow stuff up for a little bit of time, and have fun. So, and it's also the orb collecting in the game is great. It's fun to just run around and collect the orbs. So, all right, Carl, what about you? What is your game that you had no expectations for and fell in love with?
That game would probably be a little game called Beautiful Joe.
Ah. Canadian's favorite game as well.
Yes, it's his game of the year, as I recall correctly.
That's the game that Carl challenged Angry Canadian to in our year-long challenge, and he was not a fan of it.
He had many aneurysms. many aneurysms. Some would say that he swallowed a bobcat and crapped out a litter of kittens, as they would say, because that's how much he was bitching and moaning about it.
So, how were you introduced to Beautiful Joe?
I think I just randomly saw it. Either it was one of those, because back then, Blockbuster had a thing called Game Pass, where you could have better unlimited game rentals throughout the summer, but you had to like rent a game, return it, rent a game, return it.
Yeah, I thought it was basically like Netflix, but instead of having to wait for it to come in the mail, you could go down to the store and swap it. I always wanted to do that one because it was better than Netflix, but I never did. And then Blockbuster went out of business. Yeah,
this was when I was more of a latchkey kid, so my dad just basically bought me stuff so he could get drunk and fall asleep. And that was one of the things where I would just go down to the Blockbuster and I would kind of cycle through games. And I think I saw, it had to be something on G4, like said like, oh, this game is relatively good and hard and it's like hardcore. And I'm like, oh, I'll go check this out. And never realized that I was going to be such a huge fan of this game when I was playing it. So, Beautiful Joe is that game for me. It just kind of caught me off guard with the art style and everything else. But I didn't expect it to like it as much as I did, where I keep to this day hoping Capcom, much like Nintendo, will bring back the games I really want, and they never fucking do.
Yeah, I would say the same, but Capcom did just announce another game in one of my favorite franchises that's been essentially long dead. So that being Mega Man Dual Override, although we know nothing about it, but just another game in the Mega Man
Mega
franchise.
Man's long dead though. They had Mega Man 11 was probably the most recent one, and that's more recent than Dino Crisis.
True. Yeah, Mega Man 11 is the only new game we've had in Mega Man in like a decade.
Yeah,
They've just been doing nothing but collections, which I don't mind because I love those collections. But
even still, you got collections. What? I don't even get my favorite Mega Man collection. All right,
which one is that?
Legends.
Oh,
Mega Man
yeah.
Legends.
I'm sure they've been doing collections of every Mega Man sub franchise, so I'm sure Legends will probably get one at some point.
No, the head CEO heard me talking crap about Keiji Inafune many times. And this is my punishment, even though they already punished Keiji Inafune many times.
He's like, we were going to put out a Mega Man Legends collection, but I'm not going to just to spite Carl.
They were. It is in the NVIDIA leaks. They were. Well, both of those games and the Misadventures of Tron Bonnie. All right? I know. And it's been the only game that I have not seen come to fruition, and it's making me very upset.
I think it'll happen.
I think it'll too.
They're running out of games to make collections for because they've only got a couple left.
Oh, don't you tempt Capcom. They'll just remake Resident Evil again and call it a day.
I just meant games within the Mega Man franchise.
Oh no, they'll just re-release the old ones, but with a updated version again. With the art book added on, with all the cut characters. They'll release the Powered Up collection before they'll release Legends. I'm convinced of that.
I didn't mention it, but I would love to see Mega Man Powered Up give that same treatment to all the classic Mega Mans, or at least 1 through 6, the NES ones. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and then there's also the X Hunter one too. I forget what it's called.
Mega Man
Maverick Hunter.
Maverick Hunter X is what it's called.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
I haven't played that one yet, but I will be playing it at some point.
I gotta play that one too. Yeah.
So, all right. And I forgot, I wrote down one other one. Is a quick shout out to a game I played earlier this year, and I had no expectations for it because I had played the previous game in the franchise and really enjoyed it, but I had heard that the sequel is not very good. And despite me getting the mastery, all the achievements in this 360 game back in like 2013. I never bothered to play the second one until this year, and I really enjoyed it. And that was the Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2. I played that earlier this year, and I enjoyed it way more than I was expecting to because I had, next to zero expectations going into it because I'd heard nothing but bad things about it, and I really enjoyed it. It also helped that the reason why I played Lord of Shadow 1 is because it was a hack and slash. I'm not big in the Castlevania
God of War
franchise.
Clone. Devil May Cry clone.
Yeah, even though I haven't played those games, but I do like hack and slash. So I was like, oh, this.
You never played Devil May Cry?
No, never. It just missed me. I never got around to playing it. That may change, but we'll see.
That I didn't know. I figured you didn't. I knew you didn't play God of War, but really, never Devil May Cry.
Yeah, if I had to pick between the two, I'd much rather play God of War, but I never had a PlayStation, so that's why I missed the God of War games. But yeah, I've always liked the look of Devil May Cry. Just never, it just never happened. So I have one of them. I think I have the Devil May Cry HD collection. So it could happen. But anyways, big hack and slash fan, so that's why I played Lords of Shadow. I think that was actually the very first Castlevania game I ever played. And then everyone said Lord of Shadow 2 is not good. So I did buy it way back when, but I never got around to playing it until this year, thanks to our challenge. And Lord of Shadow 2 actually qualifies, even though I've never seen it tagged this way anywhere, but actually qualifies as a Metroidvania. So that also helps my enjoyment of it.
Yeah. There's another game that's a DMC clone that I want to play too that was on the PS2 called Rygar. It's been on my to-do list. It's based off of Greek mythology.
I love Greek mythology.
Yeah, so I all I know about is it's a DMC clone. That's all.
Okay. So, and Black Pelt Melon says best Mega Man games were Legends and 1 and 2. I have not played them, but my opinion, the best Mega Man games are the Mega Man X, specifically the Super Nintendo ones, X1, 2, and 3.
They're fun games. The only problem is that they were built for the PS1 controller. and it had no original joysticks. So
Are we talking about the Legends games?
yes,
Right.
the first one. I don't know about the second one, but I really
The
like the
control
first
scheme
one.
is really wonky.
It is a game that definitely needs a little bit of tightening up.
It could also use a facelift.
I wouldn't say
And
like
not just
facelift was so
graphically,
bad.
but just all encompassing.
Just make those
Modern
controls better.
Yeah.
You know, they're too loose. I hate using the R2 L2 move around, and Mega Man kind of moves like a tank with like a piano up his ass too, so that doesn't help.
Yeah, just modernize it a little bit.
Yeah, just fix those controls. That's all I'm asking.
So, all right.
Like they did with the Onimusha stuff. There you go.
Okay. All right, so next topic we got on the agenda tonight, and this was inspired because of what I was talking about earlier. Metroid Prime 4 has been getting a lot of hate, and I think most of that is from people who haven't actually played it. I just finished beating it today, and I really enjoyed it. It's, like I said, it's not great, but it's good. It got way more hate than it deserved. It's definitely a decent game. It's worth a playthrough, especially if you're a huge fan of Metroid like I am. So that inspired me for this topic is what's a game that got way more hate than it deserved? Obviously, Metroid Prime 4 was the inspiration for the question. That is one of my answers. I do have two more, but I think Metroid Prime 4 got way overly hated online. I think it deserves a playthrough if you were at all interested in it. It was still a fun. I definitely has issues and I have some gripes with it, but it was still a fun game and I enjoyed it overall. So,
Yes.
how about we go? Let's go, Carl, and then Tyler.
So it was a game I enjoyed. Is that what you're asking?
What's a game that you feel got more hate than it deserved?
A game that got more hate than it deserved. You know what? It feels like that's kind of been a recurring theme with a lot of games I've been playing recently, where I think, like you said, there's a lot of people that don't play video games, but they wait for the talking point, and then they kind of just, bleed it out there constantly. I would say like games like Halo Infinite. I feel like that game for sure kind of gets more hate than it deserves. Gears 5 for sure is definitely one of those games that I think gets more hate than it deserves too. A lot of Xbox games, I guess you could say.
The Xbox tax, as known as.
That's what I feel like. There's a bunch of like really fun games out there. Sea of Thieves. I think it got a lot of hate at the beginning. It was called like Sea of Z's, which was pretty clever. I'll give them that. But as it got more content updates and everything, it regained a better reputation.
Yeah,
but like
pretty popular from what I hear.
I feel like I probably those two would be the big standouts for me. It was definitely Gears 5 and Halo Infinite.
Okay.
I don't understand the hate for Gears 5 beyond the microtransactions.
I don't think I knew there was hate for Gears 5, to be honest with you.
There is a lot of hate for Gears 5. And
I haven't played 4 or 5, but I have heard that a lot of people, I've heard.
I don't even know what there is to hate, honestly. It's a beautiful game, and it's
a solid, great Gears game, too. I like the way it looked. They even had a bunch of fun with the Batista stuff. The Horde mode is amazing.
The DLC was great.
Oh, Hivebusters is amazing.
I've heard Hivebusters is good. That's the one positive I've heard about Gears 5.
Yeah, and now that they got a new studio head too, I have more confidence in E-Day coming out soon. But unfortunately, if you're a BioShock fan, it might not be a good outcome for you because now Rod Ferguson is now the head of Cloud Chamber, so that sucks. I don't like Rod Ferguson. He is kind of like the kiss of death because he also messed up a lot of the monetization with Diablo 4 because he was the head of Blizzard for a while too.
Okay. So I've heard the name Rod Ferguson, but I have no idea like who he is or what he's known for.
Yeah, he was worked at Epic, was the head of Coalition for a while.
Epic, that's why I know of him.
Yeah. Big Gears guy.
And then he went to Blizzard, and then he was there for the launch of Diablo 4. And the same monetization issues hit Diablo 4 the same way they hit Gears 5. So I think there's a trend there, and his name is Rod Ferguson, who doesn't know how to monetize DLC properly.
Um,
And then,
go ahead.
No, finish your point.
Oh, I was just gonna, because you also mentioned Halo, so I was gonna briefly talk about Halo Infinite. But if you're talking about Gears, then
I was going to talk about Halo Infinite now too, but
Oh.
I feel like Halo Infinite was a very fun, relaxing kind of game. I understand that there's a lot of disappointment with the multiplayer stuff, and I think that they did a decent job with it, but it just seems it didn't resonate as well with the fans as I thought it should, especially the campaign. And I thought the campaign did a good job restabilizing, especially after Halo 5. I don't like Halo 5 story. I know,
I
breaking
don't think
news.
anyone
Tucker,
does.
Yeah.
you know, and I didn't like Halo 5's gameplay. That's for a different type of player. I'm not necessarily a full-on Halo purist, but I don't want to play Call of Duty in my Halo game. That's really
Fair
it.
enough.
Like I can get used to sprint, but I love the grappling hook. I like the open worldness of the campaign. I genuinely did enjoy it, but at the same time, we talked about the many issues that 343 had, especially with the former head. I forget her name off the top of my head because I try to, get her out of it, but I don't think she was a good leader at Microsoft in general when it came to the gaming section.
Are you not? Are you talking about? You're not talking about Sarah Bond, are you?
No, she's a white woman.
Okay.
She was the former head of 343. I forget her name, but she won an award for a Lifetime Achievement Award in gaming, I believe, too. On top of that, as well, she worked at Microsoft forever. And when Phil Spencer was out of the office, she would take over for him, too.
Was it Bonnie Ross?
Bonnie Ross. I
Okay.
try to forget her name so much.
Yeah, I knew her, I've heard her name, but like Rod Ferguson's, like if you asked me who she was, I'd be like, I don't know. I just have heard the name before.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the thing I was just gonna mention about Halo is I haven't played Infinite yet, but I am looking forward to playing it, and I'm sure it's gonna be better than Halo 5. So that's kind of the baseline. It's like as long as it's better than Halo 5, I think I'll enjoy it. And
Yeah.
It'd have to be pretty bad, be worse than 5.
It's fun. The grappling hook in that is fun. It's chill. I think a lot of people are poisoned a lot with internet talk about something where if a game is just a B, then it's basically to a lot of people it's like, oh, the world is over.
Yep, exactly. So if it's anything less than like the next greatest thing since sliced bread, then it sucks. It's like, you don't have to. Doesn't have to be so polarizing. There can be an in between.
Like, I need this game to cure my ED so I can finally experience sensations again.
Yeah, for Halo. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, finish your point. That's fine.
No, I was just gonna say for Halo. I mean, I loved Infinite. I just tried to put 250 hours in. I know that's rookie numbers compared to some, but it's one of those games. I think it's a fun game, and I think that's kind of lost now. It's not enough to be fun. You need that dopamine hit constantly of like, all right, I unlocked something in a battle pass. I did this.
Okay.
If you
That was
just wanna,
my
like-
question: is with 250 hours in that, is that mostly multiplayer?
I played the campaign. I played and beat the campaign one time through. I considered going back through again on Legendary with a buddy, but we'd never ended up doing that because we just went to multiplayer. But the multiplayer feels so good. I mean, it really does. They nailed the way it feels. It feels like an old Halo game. Yes, it's a little quicker, kind of like Carl said. There's a little bit of Call of Duty in it because the sprint it's a little bit faster. But it still has some of that floatiness that makes Call of Duty fun. It has, the time to kill is not instant, so it makes the weapons more interesting. Things like that. So I mean, I think they did a really good job there. I think ultimately what ended up killing it is just we're so trained on multiplayer games that we have to have something to strive for. But if you have just buddies and you're just trying to have fun, it is such a good time. It still is. I mean, especially now that they have man, why am I blanking on the name of it? Where that you can create the maps.
Forge.
Yeah.
Forge, yes. And it's good. I mean, people have created really cool maps. They've created old maps using Forge. I mean, yeah.
Forge is
so
awesome.
it's a good time for sure. If you ever hop on Neo, if you call me up, I'll jump in a few rounds. I'd love to play that game again.
Okay. Yeah,
I
there
have to
are.
co-op with you too.
Hey,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Yeah, because I typically don't like playing PvP. I like the campaign and co-op stuff, but there are a lot of achievements for the PvP in that game, so I will be playing PvP in that game at some point once I get around to playing it. So I'll keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme.
To explain in due time.
Oh, I know.
Come on, Neo.
I didn't want to say that and then be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that we're quoting Linkin Park lyrics right now.
Yes, we are.
Excellent.
You are an angry white band. That's what I'm gathering.
Linkin Park was my favorite band in high school, so
I think it was like every middle school / high schooler's favorite band at one point.
Meteor is still one of my favorite albums ever, but I haven't listened to it in a long
Hybrid
time.
Theory, I think, is a good example of a perfect album.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah, I think Hybrid Theory was great, and then I think Meteor was even better.
Actually,
GoldenEye was great, and then Perfect Dark was better. But
Stop it.
Taking shots. Ryan isn't here to.
What were you about to say, Tyler?
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, people have their feelings about the new Linkin Park singer. I don't mind her. I like the new album. But my kid's first concert we actually went was the most recent tour. It's pretty cool.
I have not listened to Linkin Park since whatever the album was after Minutes to Midnight, and they became a completely different band. I'm like, all right, I'm out.
I like their Transformer soundtrack. That's what I just call it. It's the Transformer soundtrack.
Well, they did have a song on the Transformer soundtrack. That was a good song.
That's just why I consider it. I just consider that whole CD just the Transformer soundtrack.
What was that, Tyler?
They have many songs that were on a lot of Transformer soundtracks.
Okay. So, all right, back on track here. So, Tyler, what about you? What was a game that you felt got way more hate than it deserved?
So I put a couple of things on this list. The first two I'm just going to real quick on these. Death Stranding, you guys have both heard my love for Death Stranding. People hate it because of the walking meme, but the same thing. They hate it. They haven't played it. If you've played it and you hate it, I can respect it.
I haven't played it and I have no desire to.
Yeah. It's $15 right now, Neo. You should try it out.
I'm pretty sure it's on Game Pass too, but
yeah, I think it is on Game Pass.
Is it on Game Pass? I don't think it is.
I will double check.
Oh, maybe I'm misspeaking. And then another quick hit game I have on here is Brink. I don't know if you guys remember that, Jen.
I never played it, but I remember it.
I love that Disney show. It was my favorite movie.
Oh man, it was so good. But the game I wanted to actually talk about here is Anthem because it's recently, it's about to head out.
That was one of the games that I wrote down too.
And it is a good game. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's an amazing, it deserves everything ever, but it did get a lot more hate than I think it deserved. I understand the content end game was not necessarily there, but if you wanted to be Iron Man, it felt so good. And because I bought it, I'm a big looter shooter guy, and I'm a huge Borderlands fan, as you two know. And Borderlands, I believe it was 3.
Say it ain't so.
I think Borderlands 3 was the one about to come out, and then Anthem came out right before it. And I just had an itch to have a looter shooter, and I was like, all right, I'll try this Anthem game. And it scratched that itch enough. Me and a friend got it, and I probably put 50 hours in it. But man, the way you moved around in those suits felt so good. And like I said, I understand it's not an amazing 10 out of 10 by any means, but it got way more hate than it deserved. Yeah. I'd probably give it a 7.5.
So real quickly, Death Stranding was on Game Pass, but it left in August of 2023, so it is not anymore. But I wrote down 2 games, and one of them was Anthem because I just beat it a few weeks ago. I played it because of Carl. He's like, hey, who wants to 100% this with me before it shuts down? I'm like, I will. And then we played it once in July, and we never played it again. But I ended up playing 99% of it solo. But I enjoyed my time with it. Like I said, was it great? No, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. It had a lot of potential to be like an awesome game, but I still think it did have development hell. Went through development hell, that's for sure. But what we got in the final product was a decent game, and the full release was leagues better than the demo because I played the demo or the beta or whatever it was before the game came out, and because I was like, oh, this game looks awesome. I put the demo and I was like, I'm not playing this game. This is trash because there was no way to lock other people out. It threw you into a level with other people and you had no idea what's going on. You can't hear the story because everyone's off fighting everything. Over the course of just the one level, it took like 20 minutes, and probably 10 of those minutes I spent loading screens because it had to load every time we went to like a different section. Fortunately, the final product was not anywhere near that bad. You could set it to private so you don't have other people in your game. And my biggest issue with the game was the load, but not how many load screens. It's the length of the load screens. I was playing on a Series X, and the load screens still literally took 2 to 3 minutes at a time. It was ridiculous. But fortunately, there were not very many load screens like there were in the demo. But I wrote that down as well because I think Anthem got way more hate than it deserved. It was a decent game, and I think more people should have given it a shot. And we have about 3 weeks, I think, till it shuts down. I believe the shutdown date is January 12th. So there is still time to 100% it between now and then. It would be difficult to do, but not impossible. So when you played Anthem, was this back when it was new, or did you play it more recently like me? I just played it over the last couple months, or
no, I played it when it first came out. Like I said, it was like a holdover game for Borderlands 3 for me.
That's right. Right.
Yeah. But yeah, so I played it when it first came out. So I did play it when it was, I don't know if they made a ton of improvements. I imagine they probably didn't, because I'm pretty sure it just kind of died, but you would know more than I would on that if they improved it at the time.
I don't know how it was like when it released as like
just had no
well it functioned. But like, I don't remember having any like graphical slowdowns and losing frame rates. I don't really remember having any like glitches or anything that like broke the game. So I know around that time there were a lot of games that launched that way and had to be patched later on. So do you remember when it launched, if it was in a broken state at all?
No, I don't believe it did. I don't remember. I remember having a good time with it. I mean, like I said, I got to the end and I wanted more. It just wasn't there. But I wanted it. And so I was having a good time with it.
Yeah, I don't remember Anthem launching in a broken state. It was just a lot of people were bashing on it because it didn't live up to people's expectations.
Yeah, that's always what ends up being, right. It's the marketing versus the final product. If marketing is just, I just feel like sometimes marketing stretches it a bit, and then the expectations get blown out. Because with the right expectations, I mean, like I put 50 hours in it. I feel like that's a good. I'm not upset about spending $60 for trading $60 for 50 hours. I feel like that's a good trade.
The funny thing was I coincidentally bought it, a physical copy, when I was out physically game shopping with another buddy of mine. He drops in chat every once in a while, Snap Rai. He was in town because his parents live here where I live. And so he came to town this summer, and he took me to some of the game shops he used to frequent when he lived here. And I just found a copy of Anthem for $7. So I was like, yeah, why the heck? This is before it got announced that it was shutting down. So I picked up a physical copy of Anthem for $7. And then like a month or so later, they announced it was shutting down. But it was on Game Pass Ultimate because it's part of EA Play. So it's like, I was just planning on keeping it sealed. And then they delisted the game and removed it from EA Play. It's like, why don't you just wait till the game shuts down, morons? So it was fortunate that I had the physical copy. So I didn't keep it sealed, but I was able to use that to keep playing it. I don't know why they didn't just keep it on, EA Play / Game Pass until it shut down. That was the dumbest thing ever. But they delisted it and removed it from Game Pass. So I had to. The only way you could have played it is if you bought it previously digital, or if you had it physically. But yeah, I think because I 100%ed it, got all the achievements. It took me about 110 hours. So, nice. And I had fun. I never my biggest issue with the game, besides the load times, when it comes to like the in-game stuff, was just the last achievement was for collecting all the collectibles around the not the hub world, but like the main map, because you can kind of like Destiny, you can go on patrol and just fly around the world, but there's all the missions in the game are also in specific spots around the world, but you have to select those from the map when you're in the hub world area. like your town. You can't just like go out and then engage in a mission. Just like in Destiny, you have to select it from the map. But yeah, getting all those collectibles was a royal pain in the butt. But other than that, I enjoyed my time with it. And yeah, I'm right there with you. And that, I wrote it down as one of my games as well. And I actually just thought of another game that actually fits this criteria that I already did talk about a few minutes ago. But just a couple games that I wrote down. Obviously, Metroid Prime 4, that was the inspiration for this question. I wrote down Anthem as well. The previous BioWare game before Anthem, Mass Effect Andromeda, I also feel like it fits that exact same thing as Anthem. It got more hate than it deserved. It's a decent game. It's not great, and especially following up Mass Effects 1, 2, and 3, some of the greatest games in video game history, in my opinion, my favorite franchise of all time. So it was a big letdown from that. It's still a serviceable game, and I had fun with it, but yeah, it's just a letdown compared to the original 3 games, but it's still a decent game. That one I do know launched in a broken state, but I didn't play it until like a year after it came out and all the bugs had been patched, so I didn't really have any issue with the functionality of the game. And then the other game that I just thought of while you were talking is Crackdown 3. That got a lot of hate, but it's a lot of fun. If you like Crackdown, it's more Crackdown. I think you'll enjoy Crackdown 3 if you enjoyed the other ones. But
that's the Terry Crews one, right?
Yes, that's the Terry Crews one. So a lot of people, I think it's part of the hate for it was because it spent so long in development, and Microsoft was like hyping it up as like the poster child for like cloud gaming, and they basically took that out of the game. And it is in the multiplayer, but it's not in the campaign. But like I said, if you liked Crackdowns 1 and 2, you'll probably like Crackdown 3 because it's just more of that in a new world. So it was a lot of fun. I had fun playing Crackdown 3 as well. So all right. Any last thoughts on this topic?
Nope.
All right. So next topic on the agenda is I heard this on a stream I was watching a couple weeks ago. This wasn't a topic from the panel, but someone super chatted the panel and asked this question. I'm like, ooh, that's a really good question for party chat. So I co-opted it to use for party chat. I did not write down who it was that super chatted it, but whoever that was, thank you for giving me this topic for party chat. And that is, so you have 1 year with no internet, and you can have 5 games, on whatever hardware it takes to play those games. That's not really the important part. It's just, no internet, and you have 5 games to tide you over for a whole year. What games are you picking? So, Tyler, so one of mine is not dependent on multiplayer, but obviously like couch co-op sort of thing, split screen. But it would be perfect for that situation. So Tyler asked me, he's like, hey, can I have friends over in this situation? I was like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and say, yes, you could have friends over. You just don't have any internet. So if you can do, split screen, that's fine. So I didn't specify that in the question, but you could have friends over. You just have no internet. So what 5 games are you picking? So Carl, what 5 games are you taking on your year-long sabbatical from the internet?
Oh, 5 games. Oh man, that's a tough one. You know what? It'd probably be a bunch of JRPGs that I haven't played.
I've got a few games on my list are long games that I haven't played yet. So curious what those would be for you.
So my 5 that I think that I would pick would be super long JRPGs. I would probably go with the first one would be Lost Odyssey for Xbox 360.
I've heard good stuff about that one, but obviously I haven't played it because that's not my genre.
Yeah, I heard nothing but good things about it. It's been on the to-do list, and hopefully that'll change up pretty soon.
That was a 360 exclusive, right?
Yeah, and it's only been released on 360.
It is backwards compatible.
Yes, it is.
And it's currently on sale for $8.
Yes, it is. So that would probably be one of them.
Okay.
Just for the pure factor of that. Another one I'd pick is Dave the Diver.
I like
Just because it's an easy loop.
No surprise there.
It's an easy loop. It's an easy pick up, put down type of game where I could probably put in a great amount of time, and I could just kind of keep replaying it over and over and over again just to kill some time. Another one would be Age of Empires 2 specifically right now, because it has Age of Empires 1 fully integrated into it with updated looks. They also just did the Alexander the Great DLC storyline. Plus, they have all the new historical storylines all across the entire world now. So, uh, like I said, I beat the first African campaign, and then there's a whole other mess of campaigns that I can play and beat. Also, they did include the Romance of the Three Kingdoms into it.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that last week.
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of stuff in there that I could just play for hours and hours on end. And
Lots
plus,
of content in that game.
yeah, I'm a giant RTS kind of nerd, as many people know. But yeah, I'd probably bring that. Another one I would definitely bring is Rome Total War, because I could just make myself have like nothing but endless hours of just the same loop. It's like I'm putting on that war helmet, bro. I am Julius Caesar, And the last one I think would be another JRPG that would be added to that list, and I'd probably go with the Final Fantasy 1 through 6 collection.
Oh, the Pixel remaster.
Yeah,
Very nice.
so I could get through all the original Final Fantasy games that I didn't play, including the first to the fifth one, and play the peak one, which is 6.
Okay. Cool. Good stuff. So Black Pill Timon says the Legend of
Lagana.
Legaia. I have heard of that before. I don't know anything about it, but I'm pretty sure that's in your JRPG category. Thousand Arms, Final Fantasy Tactics, Wild Arms 2, and Persona 4. I have no interest in playing any of those, but
They're all pretty good.
Good stuff. So
I want to play Thousand Arms. That's the one I need to play.
So it looks like Tyler wants to play Tactics as well. I've heard good things about Final Fantasy Tactics, but also not a genre that I'm too keen on. So all right. All right, so I'll go ahead and go next, and we'll wrap this question up with Tyler's list. So for me, the first one that popped in my head, and this is actually an answer to a similar question we had on Party Chat a number of months ago. But obviously, ideally you want games that take a long time and have lots of content or lots of replayability in them, because a whole year with only 5 games. So the first thing that popped into mind is one that I put 150 hours into, and I really like it, and I'm only like, I basically played the first half of the game twice, and I still need to get through it. And it's basically an endless game if you want it to be. And so that would be Satisfactory. And given if it was one of 5 games that I had for an entire year, I would finally get through it and beat it in its entirety. And I could still keep playing it forever, because there's people before this game even hit 1.0 release and was still in beta. The way I got introduced to it was someone on Twitter, and they're like, yeah, I've got like 3,200 hours in this game. And I was like, whoa, what game is that? He's like, oh, it's Satisfactory. So I looked into it. I'm like, this looks really interesting. So I bought it, and I love this game, and I barely scratched the surface of it. And there's people who have put thousands of hours in it before it even hit 1.0 release. So Satisfactory, absolutely one of my games. Were you about to say something, Tyler?
No, I was just reacting to your 3,200 hour count.
And I saw after I looked into it, I found people that have way more than that. That's just the guy who introduced me to it, because I think the question was, one of those questions on Twitter is just like, what's a game you have over 1,000 hours in? And someone replied with a GIF of just the character from Satisfactory. And I was like, oh, what game is that? And they're like, oh, it's Satisfactory. And I've got like 3,200 hours in it. I'm like, oh, interesting. Ooh. So that's when I looked into it. I'm like, this game looks great. So I bought it on the Steam. I want to say it was the fall sale in 2023. And so I've beaten like the first half of the game twice now, and I keep getting to that point, and then it's just like too overwhelming just because there's so much other stuff I want to play. So if I could like dedicate some time to it, I would absolutely love to beat it and just keep playing it on and on and on, because there's really no end to the game if you don't want there to be. So Satisfactory was the first one that popped into my head. Another game that kind of fits that mold, that's a giant RPG that I've heard amazing things about, but I have not played yet, and it's because it's so long, but it's a lot of people's like favorite game of all time, and a lot of people's favorite RPG, and that is The Witcher 3. The main reason why I have not played it is because it's so long. I'm looking forward to playing it eventually. I just don't know when I'll ever get around to it. So this would be a perfect situation for me to finally get through that game in its entirety. The only bummer would be I haven't played 1 or 2 yet, and I do plan to play 2 first before I play 3. But in this scenario, I wouldn't have 2, and now it's a much shorter game. But I've heard 3 is much better. So me being a bit of a completionist, I would be bummed that I would not be able to play either the other 2 first. But I'm pretty sure I will love Witcher 3 when I do get around to playing it. Just who knows when that'll be. I bet by the time I get around to playing it, the Witcher 1 remake will probably be out, and then I can play the whole trilogy. Let's see here. So Witcher 3 was the next one in my list. And then the next one, this is the one where I would have absolutely no qualms at all playing this game solo for a year. But if I had friends over to play it, it would make it even better. And that is Rock Band 3, because it basically has the set list from Rock Bands 1 and 2 in it as well. And I've got, all the instruments. And my favorite instrument is the drums. And I've mentioned it, I think it was earlier this year, or maybe it was last year, but because I'd put my drums away and hadn't played them in like over a decade, and I pulled them out last summer for the first time. And I used to play on expert, and I had to go back to easy because I'd like starting over from scratch. So I've been slowly building my skills back up, but it'd be fun to get good at the drums again. Maybe finally beat the expert career on expert drums, because it's very difficult. But even if I didn't beat the campaign, I just have so much fun just playing that game, and that's another one, has basically endless, where you can just keep playing forever because there's no real end game. So Rock Band 3 would be a perfect game for this situation, and you could actually work on your skills and getting better at actually drumming, because it's not like exactly 1-to-1, but playing the drums, because I do have the cymbals as well. Playing the Rock Band drums is the most accurate 1-to-1 comparison for Rock Band instruments to their actual real counterparts, because playing the guitar or the bass in Rock Band is nothing like playing the real instrument, but playing the drums is close to playing real drums. So it would actually somewhat translate to a real skill. So and then the next one would be, I didn't specify that. I didn't think about this until after I sent the question out, but I was like, maybe I should have specified like collections, but I was like, it's a whole year and you get 5 games. We'll let collections slide if you wanted it to. So the one collection game that I would have would be the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. So I have all 3 Mass Effects. Like I said, it's my favorite franchise. I've not played the Legendary Edition yet either. So I'd finally get a chance to get through all of them. And I've played them all lots of times. It's just been a very long time since I've played any of the campaigns. So I'm very much looking forward to playing through them again, and being that it's 3 games and there's a lot of replayability in each game because of all the different choices you make. I've seen that the completion estimate is around 150 hours for all 3 games in the Legendary Edition, but you could easily play it way past that, replaying the games over and over again, making different choices, which I would absolutely do because I've done it plenty of times and I would love to do it again some more. And then the last game I have on here is one of my favorite shooters of all time. And this one also has a bit of an ulterior motive on why it's on my list, but that is Doom Eternal, my favorite Doom game and one of my favorite shooters of all time. I think when we did top 5 shooters, I actually put this as my number 1 shooter of all time. I love this game so much. But the ulterior motive that I have behind adding this to my list is because this is also the basis for a basically a full what's it called, like a mod, when you basically do like a ground up remake of a game using, you mod it, full conversion mod, that's what it's called. I have an idea in my head for a full conversion mod for Doom Eternal, and I would take this on my year-long sabbatical without the internet so that I could use it to build this full conversion mod that I want, but I would obviously need the game to do that. So I would finally have some time to work on that and increase my skills with the id Tech 7. I believe the id Tech 7 is the engine that it's built on. That has been released to the public, and I've tooled around in it to get a little bit familiar with it. And so I know I can do it. I just haven't taken the time because it's a huge undertaking. But if I had a whole year to work on it without a huge backlog of games that I could play, I could finally focus on building my full conversion mod for Doom Eternal. So that would be the 5 games that I would pick. So Black Pill Timon says The Witcher 3 is the only Western RPG I like. good pick, and Mass Effect is also very good. Absolutely. Hey, Christian Frady's here. What's up, Christian? How's it going? Haven't seen you in a while, but hope you're doing well. Merry Christmas to you, buddy. I'm working on a PC decompilation project. Cool. I know you're always working on some interesting behind the scenes stuff, so that's always awesome to hear. So, what about you, Tyler? What 5 games are you taking on your trip away from the internet?
Let me see here. Move my list. All right, so when I was going through this list, I kind of had the same thought Carl did. I was like, I'm going to put some games that are on a backlog. I just haven't gotten time to get to. But then I thought about it some more, and I went, nah, I don't want to do that because what if I hate those 5 games? And so I opted to take one of those and then 4 games I know I love that I can replay over and over. No surprise to you two, Borderlands 2, my favorite game of all time. I've put easily thousands of hours into it across all the platforms. And I still play it at least once every year. And actually just started playing it again with my 11-year-old. Judge me if you think it's too much for an 11-year-old, but he's right.
It's kind of like the original Halo was rated M, and I feel like it should have been rated teen. There's very little in that game that should make it rated M. I would say Borderlands kind of fits that category as well, where it is rated M, but it not really.
Yeah, no, so Borderlands 2 is an easy pick for me. And then the reason I messaged you and asked for multiplayer, I went back and forth on Halo 2 or Halo 3.
Okay.
And I decided Halo 2, even though I like Halo 3 multiplayer more. And the reason I decided that is I feel like Halo 3 is geared. You need more players for it to feel a little bit. I don't know. If it was just me and 2 buddies, or me even 3 buddies, I feel like it could get old feeling. Where 2 was simple enough, the maps were more compact.
We're talking about the PvP, not the co-op, right?
Yes. Multiplayer specifically. It's a great split screen experience, multiplayer wise. So that's the game I chose for a multiplayer game.
Okay.
And then
I was mentioning, I didn't say no collection, so you could do Master Chief Collection if you really wanted to.
That's a genius idea. That's what I should have done. We'll pivot. We'll say Master Chief Collection.
Good pick.
And then I wanted to have a Pokemon game on here because I can only go so long without playing through one. So I put Pokemon Heart Gold just because it's a large game, 2-in-1 essentially, and the most modern of that version.
When you say 2-in-1, does it have the original version of it as well?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You basically can replay through the Kanto League again and get all the gym badges, and then you get the red special ending.
Because Gold and Silver was Game Boy Color, right? And then
correct.
Heart Gold and Soul Silver were those DS?
3DS. Oh yeah, they were DS, not 3DS.
Okay.
I just keep thinking that I just consider 3DS the default now because it's backwards compatible.
Okay. I was like, I'm trying to figure out what Pokemon games were on what platform, so I'm getting better about it.
Everything.
So, okay. So Heart Gold, is that your favorite Pokemon game?
Yeah. If I had to pick one to play forever, that'd be the one. Some of the newer ones, I'm just getting old, I guess. I like the original 3, just because nostalgia reasons, most likely. But I know all the Pokemon in those games. Some of these newer ones, I'm like, I don't know. I play them, but I'm like, I don't know what this guy that looks like a trash bag is. But
Trubbish, man, you got hating on Trubbish.
While we're talking about Pokemon, I just saw a post on Twitter. I think it was yesterday, the day before, and it was a picture of a test, and it was like you have to guess whether this is a name of a prescription drug or the name of Pokemon. I'm like,
I saw hilarious. That. My wife showed me that. That was really funny. And you can't tell.
I didn't recognize any of them,
unless you're a super fan.
So, Carl, you were about to say something about Gold a second ago.
No, I didn't. I wasn't.
Okay. So
I know Carl. He did the TCG stuff as well, so I'm sure.
Well, I did everything. Like I said, I've been playing all the Pokemon games since I was a kid, and I was sponsored to go play all the Pokemon game, the Pokemon TCG. I hung out with the VGC players and everything too.
Every '90s kid's dream, Carl got to live.
Mm-hmm. I traveled the country.
I'm right there with you, Blackfield Timon, is saying that all the Pokemon games are the same, just like FIFA and Madden. I agree, but
like FIFA and Madden. What?
Like every Madden game is the same, and FIFA's
It's
the
not
same.
No, that's a
same,
bad
though.
comparison.
It's
That's
a terrible comparison. It's an ignorant comparison.
Yeah,
to be
that's like
honest.
saying
Probably.
Sea of Stars is like Chrono Trigger.
So,
Yeah, that one,
Uh,
that one still doesn't make sense. But like when people compare Pokemon to Madden, it's it's not even true. I've literally played all the Pokemon games this year, and that is a laughable statement to me.
yeah, I know it probably, it's a bit of a hyperbole, but for the most
Yeah.
part, I would agree. It's like they all seem like they're the same thing to an outsider.
Yeah, it's like saying all the Persona games are the same too, because they keep relatively the same battle mechanic and the core thing. It's like saying
I
all the Halo
would
games
assume
are
so.
the same because they continue to keep a similar core mechanic, though. They're all first person shooters, right? Halo's all the same.
Well, I would say my guess would be that all the Halo games are more like each other than all the Pokemon games are.
I would agree with that.
Would that be a fair?
I feel like when you have sequels of long running things, just from my experience, gamers don't like change, as we can see with like the Final Fantasy VII remakes that are going on there. But at the same time, there's also going to be a contingent of gamers that do like change because they will always kind of be like, "Oh, why are we getting the same game over and over again?" Like one of the big knocks against the Borderlands franchise I see is like, "Oh, it's the same game as before," It,
Yeah, we were just
it's
talking about Linkin
always
Park,
going to,
same thing.
yeah, it's always going to be one of those things where it's mostly people who haven't played a Pokemon game since Gen 2 that just constantly say, "Oh, Pokemon hasn't evolved,"
I was just thinking that made me think of in How I Met Your Mother, one of Barney's lines is "Newer is always better." It's like that is so not true. So, all right, Tyler, continue on with your list.
All right, and then my fourth game here is Into the Breach.
I've heard the name of that game, but I know nothing about it.
Isn't
Yeah,
isn't that the tactical game, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
okay.
tactical.
Like, is it like an XCOM? Like,
I wouldn't call it like XCOM. It's more probably. I haven't played Final Fantasy Tactics, but when I see screenshots of it, I feel like that's probably more comparable.
okay,
Because it's a small grid. It's like a little 8x8 grid.
If I haven't played this either, but just off this screenshot, it kind of gives me Advance Wars vibes.
Yes, that's a good. I would say that's a good comparison.
Okay.
I can see that, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like, I believe it's been a minute since I've played it, to be honest with you. But I believe it's aliens are coming out of the ground in this world and you're using these future mechs. But yeah, it's a tactical game and it's randomly generated levels and it happens, the rounds are relatively quick, but it has a lot of replayability. So you unlock things very slowly, which allow you then to obviously replay all the levels with the new stuff and just have different outcomes. And so when I did pick it up and play it, I believe it was a Steam Deck game I played, but I couldn't put it down for some time.
A good Steam Deck game.
Yeah, it's a great game. I mean, I pick my wife does now, but for a minute I was picking my kids up from school and I would have to sit in this stupid line for like half an hour. So I would bring that with me and play while I was waiting to pick up the kids and stuff like that. It's a great, just pick it up, play 3 or 4 rounds. Generally it turns into 20 rounds just because it's so addicting.
One more turn games.
Yeah, it's one of those. And so I feel like a year, it would be a really good, like, between these other games, play that for a little bit kind of thing. And then my last one, and might hurt your audience's heart a little bit. I've never played the Mass Effect trilogy. And so I did cheat and put the Legendary Collection as the game to tackle my backlog. Now, with that said, I have played the first game in the Legendary Collection. I did when it first came out. Legendary Collection did. I went through and I played Mass Effect 1, and I enjoyed it. I don't have the nostalgia from early 2000s or whatever, but it was a good game. I see why people enjoy it, and I understand the replayability of it. Wanting to go through it and see different outcomes and things like that. I started 2, and then something happened. And I don't know, just a new game came out or something. I got distracted, never went back. I want to go back, just have not. I know a lot of people claim 2 is the best. So I got to get back to it. But yeah, I would take that with me as my new game to play through. I would have a couple new games there with 2 and 3. And
Good pick.
from what I hear, I shouldn't be let down.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
2 and 3 are excellent. 3 is my single favorite game of all time. I love that game.
And 2 is my favorite of all time. So yeah.
That's actually another answer I could have said for a game that got more hate than it deserved. Mass Effect 3, mainly because of the ending.
I do
Yeah.
remember all that hate.
Yeah, the ending is a bit of a disappointment, but for me, it's more of the journey than the destination. And the game itself, leading up to the ending, is fantastic. So,
Didn't they patch the ending?
They
the
added
original
more
ending
onto it,
yes, a couple months after it came out. So, I think the only way you could still play the original ending would be to get like a physical copy of Mass Effect 3 and then don't update it and play it offline, and then you could have access to the original ending. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but if you could. But yeah, they added a free DLC called the Extended Cut that gives a slightly modified version of the ending. It makes it better. It's still not great, but it did make it better. But yeah, a lot of people hate on the entire game, although over time people have come around to be like, yeah, maybe I was a little too hard on Mass Effect 3 solely because of the ending. There's some people that I've been arguing with just over the last couple weeks on Twitter, like, no, Mass Effect 3 is still a crap game. It's like, the ending was disappointment, but the rest of the game, in my opinion, is freaking fantastic. But yeah, I think you will enjoy it. And the Mass Effect 2 and 3 are, in my opinion, a huge step up from the first one when it comes to the gameplay. Because the way I kind of talk about each game is Mass Effect 1 was super heavy on the RPG elements and lesser so on the combat, the gameplay. Obviously, it's still there, but in Mass Effect 2, they kind of flipped the other way and went a little too far, in my opinion. And it's super light on the RPG elements, and it's more of like a Gears of War action-packed, cover shooter, which isn't a bad thing. I think the gameplay in 2 is great, but it's very light on the RPG elements. And then Mass Effect 3, I think they found the perfect middle ground between the two. Where it's a perfect balance between like gameplay and RPG elements. So, yeah, I think that's an excellent pick and has a lot of replayability, like I said, because there's so many different ways you can go through the story.
I see in the chat someone saying buy all the DLC from Mass Effect Trilogy. Does the Legendary Collection include that DLC?
Yes.
Yes. With the only DLC that was ever released that is not in the Legendary Edition is the Pinnacle Station DLC for Mass Effect 1 because somehow they lost the source code to it.
Yeah, that's the only one. Yeah. But
you're
that's
not
the sort
missing
of
out on
first
anything
one.
because it's basically like a training simulation. So it doesn't progress the story or anything. All the important DLCs are in the Legendary Edition.
Gotcha. Cool.
So, yeah. Christian agrees with me. Mass Effect 3 is underrated. I agree. So,
real quick before we move on, can I ask Carl?
Go for it.
Carl, going back to Pokemon because I see
Sure.
I see you guys going back and forth. Not to spark anything. Have you ever done a oh man, why am I blanking?
Nuzlocke?
Nuzlocke, yes.
I've tried to do Nuzlocks. I don't find them to be very fun.
Man.
I just always try to do a thing where I only play with Pokemon from that new region.
Oh,
Every
okay.
time I do like a brand new game, so I don't do any, doubles.
Yeah.
Like I try to avoid all my favorites and stuff like that.
Yeah. Me and my best friend from high school, we actually just started a I think they call it a Soul Lock, where it's
I've never
we
heard of
both are
this.
playing. Yeah, we're both playing the same game, and you play it with Nuzlocke rules. But then when you catch a Pokemon, like in the let's say Route 1, your friend catches a Pokemon in Route 1 as well. They're locked together. So then we continue to play through the game together. And if I lose that Pokemon, he also loses that. Whatever connected Pokemon he has, he loses that one as well.
I've never heard about that one.
Is this
That's
like an
really
honor
interesting.
system?
It is an honor system.
Okay.
They do have websites you can use to like link them and stuff. But if I could have a die and not tell them. But you play with the right friend. You're just honest with each other. But it is just devastating. It is so sad.
But
But
interesting concept. I've never heard of that.
I heard about the one where it's like the rival challenge, where you and your rival can only when you get a gym, you can't over level your Pokemon, and you have to constantly face off after every gym.
Yes, yeah. They have like ROMs that will put those rules in for you on the original games and stuff. That's pretty cool.
And then Christian also mentioned the Lair the Shadow Broker DLC, which is a DLC for Mass Effect 2, and the Citadel DLC, which is a DLC for Mass Effect 3. Those are both phenomenal DLCs. And yeah, Black Pill Timon also mentions Mass Effect also has Yvonne Strahovski, who, as Christian says, yeah, Yvonne Strahovski voiced Miranda Lawson, who is a main character in Mass Effect 2, and my number one Mass Effect waifu. She's freaking gorgeous, both her character and the actor. So that definitely doesn't hurt the game as well. So.
I found my autographed Mass Effect photos recently too when I was cleaning out some stuff.
Ooh.
So,
all right. So, let's see. All right, that was all right. So next topic on the agenda for tonight, 40, is I think I didn't write it down, but I think Carl suggested this topic. Or we were talking about something on a party chat, and he's like, "Hey, that would make a good party chat topic." I'm like, "That would be."
There's a bunch of those. I couldn't tell you.
I'm pretty sure Carl was the reason why I wrote this down on my list. So that is, what is the best game with the worst story? So, Carl, since this was essentially instigated by you, whether it be intentional or unintentional, what would you say is one of the best games with the worst story?
One of the best games with a worse story, I always go with my go-to, which is good old Days Gone.
Okay.
Days Gone story is absolutely mediocre on a good day and bad on most every other day. But it's got really, really fun gameplay, especially with the giant zombie horde mechanics. Still one of my favorite memories is taking down one of the last hordes or the last horde when you have to fight it off at the wood mill factory. And for sure, that was definitely one of the games that had a absolute fun time just running around gunning down like hundreds and hundreds of zombies with one of the most forgettable and boring and nonsensical story out of all of them.
Yeah, the way you were really hyping it up in that first section there, it's like, you gifted it to me. I haven't played it yet, but I will be playing it at some point. It's like, yeah, you're really making me want to play this game. It's like, it's decent on a good day and it's terrible on a bad day.
For a story, that is.
For the story, but it's got fun gameplay.
Yeah, that's really what it is. It's a very fun, very, very fun gameplay. But it had a really, really just confusing, disjointed, weird story. Like it didn't know what it wanted to be. It also was one of those games that Sony rushed out the door, and it had, I think, 4 pre-launch patches before the game even came out.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because I remember a lot of the reviewers couldn't even play the game because it was almost unplayable. So there was a lot of issues with that.
That's because, yeah, like I didn't really ever hear anything good about that game until way after it came out. Everyone was like lambasting it when it first launched. It's probably because of the state it launched in.
Yeah, basically Days Gone became better, and I think some of it also had to do with some people getting upset at other PlayStation games. So a lot of people were doing the like trying to be a hipster kind of thing to really push that game forward. They're like, oh, this game's better than, insert other PlayStation game that had controversy. So that's really what it is. But Days Gone's a great game. Not a good story by any means, but I think everyone should play it, especially now that it's on PC and they got a PS5 update for it and it runs at 60 FPS. So it plays a lot better than when I played it. And I got the Platinum Trophy for it too. So
okay. Yeah, I will, when I get around to playing it, I plan to 100% it. So,
yeah, it's easy. It's another one of those Far Cry formulas of open world driving around. Like I said, it's just stupid because like everyone's a biker gang, but you're like in a zombie world, and
it's like, don't you would like lead all the zombies directly to you with how loud your motorcycle would be?
Especially because like they make like a big thing about like, oh, we gotta be stealthy in that. But it's just like that, like South Park episode with the Harley Davidson gang. And
I love that episode.
They make their bikes even more loud and annoying, and that's just how I feel like. It's like everyone pointed out. I'm not the only one to notice that. It was a common thing, especially among podcasts I listen to. They're like, they got these whole missions where you're being all stealthy, but then you run back to your motorcycle and crank it up, and you're just driving through, Bend, Oregon, in the middle of back trails of these redwood forests, just go, just like, come here, zombies, gotta be stealthy. Hold on, let me park my bike.
Yeah, it's like they could, because it's definitely one of those type of bikes. They could have just solved that by just having a different type of motorcycle, because there are motorcycles out there that are pretty quiet, but those ones are the loud ones. Like, why would you give that type of motorcycle to someone in a zombie apocalypse when you're trying to be quiet?
This is one of those things where you are having fun making the story, and nobody asks that question once. That's what it is.
Yep. Okay. All right. What about you, Tyler? What's a game that you felt had a terrible story but was a great game?
So, quick shout out to Borderlands 3. I'm not going to talk about it because I talk about Borderlands too much. But it obviously had no one liked the story, I don't think. Even like the biggest Borderlands fans did not like that story. But the gameplay was very much improved.
I haven't played 3 yet, but that's the main thing I've heard is the biggest issue with it is the annoying like VTuber twins or whatever they are.
Yeah, it's pretty cringy. But the game I actually put down here was actually Saints Row 3.
Okay.
So when it came out, at least I've gone back. I went back last year and tried to play it, and it wasn't the easiest game to go back to. But I do remember when it actually came out, I loved to play it. It was a fun game. It's just goofy, stupid fun. The shooting was fun. Even the world it was before the superpowers. 4 was when they introduced all the crazy superpowers and you were flying around. So in 3, you still had a need for cars, and they had a really cool system where you would upgrade the cars. You'd have giant spikes coming out of your tires, and you just ram into stuff. So it's just a dumb turn your brain off, shoot everything you can, and have fun. But the story was terrible. I mean, I don't think any Saints Row story is a good story, and I don't know if that was even the goal of their games. But I mean, just this whole idea of these gangs, this gang that kind of raises up to the top and then becomes essentially they kind of
President of the United States.
Eventually, yeah. 4
Is that okay?
President.
I was going to
Vice President Keith David.
Yeah, and
I was going to ask what's the premise of the third one. I know there's one of them where
No, Saints Row the 4th is the when you become the president.
Yeah. Oh, that's the 4th.
But 3 is like the rise to that, essentially. I mean, 3 is like you. I mean, I don't recall all of it, but yeah, you're just this gang member who and I think they call you the playa, which is I guess clever in a way because they he plays yourself, but it was pretty stupid. And there's just dildos everywhere, and
you get a giant purple floppy dildo saber.
Dildo bat.
Yeah. So,
you got the Adult Swim soundtrack going on there too, driving around on a 4-wheeler with like the worst collision mechanics ever while Taking Back Sunday is playing.
That and oh man, they had Kanye was like the title soundtrack song.
Oh yeah, the Power one. That whole
Power.
That's when you're jumping out of the you're doing the whole skydiving sequence. Oh, that one's great. That game is great. Saints Row the Third is awesome, just for pure stoner goodness. Especially they got the dubstep gun, and it's like my favorite weapon in gaming.
I've seen that one before.
It really is a blast. The game just to play it.
Which one has the shark gun?
Are you thinking of Armed and Dangerous?
I don't know. I just know I've seen what I thought was Saints Row, and they had a shark gun.
I don't know if Saints Row has one, but I know Armed and Dangerous did.
That's probably what it was then.
Yeah. They also had the topsy-turvy screw in Armed and Dangerous, where you plant a little corkscrew in the ground, and it flips the map upside down. The enemies just fall off the map and die.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
That's hilarious.
Armed and Dangerous, one of those forgotten LucasArts games.
Yeah, that would be my pick.
Okay, Saints Row the Third. So a couple from chat. You got a vote for Spider-Man, the PS4 one. Although I heard that Christian was saying that Spider-Man 2 had great gameplay, but the story was pathetic. I heard good things about the first one. I haven't really heard much good about the second one outside of the gameplay.
The first one was a really good story overall. It just got slowed down with the Mary Jane and Miles missions, but besides that, the story was fine. It's just the second one it was a very reductive storyline for many, many reasons that I wish not to repeat on here.
Fair enough. But yeah, speaking of Days Gone, Timon says that the Days Gone had a siphon filter secret weapon, the taser. I've heard about the taser, and siphon filter is like an overpowered weapon that you would think would suck, but it's actually really good. All right, so for me, a game that is a great game with terrible story is the first thing that came to mind is the game that I have more hours in than any other game, and that is Destiny 1. I had never played Destiny 2, but Destiny 1. Great game, great gameplay. I've kept all 3 characters at top level for many, many years, so I have more hours in it than any other game. But the story, I don't even know. It's like it was compelling before the game came out because you got the Traveler was this big orb that kind of set down over the last city on Earth. And there's these 4 factions of enemy types, and play through the game, and you learn absolutely nothing about anything. It's like, why are these 4 factions here? Why are we fighting? What is the darkness? What is the lights? What is the Traveler? Why is it here? You don't learn any of that. They might have touched on it in Destiny 2. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't played it, but you literally know nothing more at the end of the game as you do at the beginning of the game. And it didn't help that the game went through a lot of development hell as well, specifically with the story. They had a story written and they ripped out the entire story with like 9 months to go before it released and replaced it entirely. So that's why the story is very disjointed and literally makes like no sense. I remember when the 1 year anniversary is when the Taken King DLC came out and reworked a lot of the game and really renovated a lot of the systems and stuff. And I remember on Reddit someone said the best story we've gotten in Destiny, and I said something to the effect of the only story we've gotten in Destiny, and that's probably like one of my most upvoted posts on Reddit ever. I got a lot of support for that one. But yeah, the story is terrible, but the gameplay is great, and I spent a crap load of time playing that game, and it's a lot of fun. And a great, especially if you got people to play with, which I spent most of my time playing it with 1 or 2 of my other buddies, whether it was just, dicking around in patrol, going through the missions, doing the raids. It's just a lot of fun. And I still have 1 achievement left. I got to beat that Wrath of the Machine, the final DLC's raid. I got to beat that on Heroic. So if anyone has it on Xbox One, and can help me, because you have to have 6 people who know what they're doing. If there's anyone out there who can help me get that last achievement, I would be very grateful for it. But yeah, Destiny 1 is the first thing that came to mind. One other game that I played just a few months ago, and I played it because of Nerdtorial, and we both had basically the same thing to say about it. The gameplay was good, but the story was pretty trash, and that was Time Spinner, little pixel art, side-scrolling 2D Metroidvania. It reminded him a lot of Symphony of the Night, which I could see that. I didn't really think of Symphony of the Night. I don't really know what other 2D Metroidvania it really made me feel like. But yeah, the story in that game was really convoluted, and the side plots with the 4 or 5 different like secondary characters that you have to do quests for was just freaking terrible. And you're playing like matchmaker and between like these 2 guys and setting them up. It's like, what is this doing in this game? It was just terrible. But the gameplay was decent. They could have been better. It had some cool time stop mechanics that they really should have built more on, because the game is based both on traveling back and forth through time, but you can also pause time for short periods of time. But the pause time feature was very underutilized. You only need to do it like twice in the entire game. But overall, I enjoyed the gameplay of the game, but yeah, the story was terrible. So those are a couple that I felt were good games with bad stories. So
you put a lot of time in Destiny 1. Is there a reason you didn't play Destiny 2?
Because I was like, I need to play other games than just one game for the next.
It was just sucking up too much
6
time.
years.
Yeah, that's why I can't get into MMOs and stuff like that. It's like I want to play more games. That's really what it comes down to at the end of the day.
If we had a year, the question we had earlier with the 5 games, no internet. If we had internet, but we only had 5 games, Destiny 2 might be one of my picks, and I'd finally have a reason to spend a lot of time in just one game. So it's not like I didn't want to. I did play the demo and I liked it, but I just like I don't need to. There's a lot of other games that I've been putting off that I want to play. I just haven't been playing because I've been spending all my time in Destiny. So it's like I need to be done with Destiny so I can play all these other games that I want to play. So that's the main reason why I didn't play Destiny 2.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I just had a friend ask me if I wanted to start World of Warcraft. It's a game I've avoided for this long.
No.
I said, absolutely not.
No, you don't.
I'm not going down that rabbit hole.
I've had a friend that's been playing it since day one. And he still plays it.
That's nuts because it's been around for 20 plus years now. So people have dozens, if not hundreds of thousands of hours in that game, which understandable. But it's like I like playing lots of different stuff, not just one thing. But yeah, there was basically like a 5-year span where I basically played 3 games. That was Mass Effect 3, which I still play regularly because of the multiplayer. I love the multiplayer. I play it on still pretty much a weekly basis. Destiny 1 and Skyrim. Those are about the only 3 games I played for like a 4 or 5 year span.
I still play Skyrim.
So I have started the Xbox One version because and that's when they did that thing where they released an Xbox One version, so they didn't make the 360 version backwards compatible. So I've put about like 20 hours or so into the Xbox One version. So I still got a long way to go. That's another one that could have gone on my list for the 5 games with no internet because that is a great game and I do love Skyrim. But
yeah, my 11-year-old just started Skyrim. He's about 5 hours deep, and he is really hooked.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
it was a proud dad moment
game
for sure when he turned the screen over. He said, "Look, he saves his game so he can roll back the save." He's like, "I'm gonna try to light this whole town on fire." I'm like, "Do what we gotta do, buddy."
That's awesome. So
yeah, I actually got all the achievements finally for that. I think last year or the year before that. Can't remember, but it was like one of the things where it's like I just need 2 more achievements. We're gonna fucking do this.
Yep, I have a lot of time in Skyrim, and I will be doing it again whenever I get around to playing the Xbox One version. So,
I also have the platinum trophy too. That was funny.
So, and I basically have to shout it out anytime we talk about Skyrim. The best way to play it is on 360 with the Kinect. That was the best game with Kinect integration.
So you can say
ever.
the shouts.
That's one of many reasons why, but yes, you didn't have to pause it and switch through your shouts. You could just hold the button and just shout whatever, as long as you memorize the words for it, you could just do any shout at any time. It was fantastic. But if you do play it with the Kinect, you can go and look up. There's like 4 or 5 pages of commands you can go when they added in the Kinect integration. You can go and Google like this Skyrim Kinect integration commands, and there's like a 4 or 5 page PDF that has everything you can do with the voice commands, and it's a game changer for that game because you barely ever have to pause it. It's phenomenal. So, all right. Let's see here. Yep, that's all of it for that one. So, all right. So, last topic for tonight is, as usual, our favorite game of the next year down the list. And last episode, we talked about 2014. So, tonight, we're talking about our favorite games of 2015.
We're running out of years, Neo. What are you
I
gonna
was
do?
just thinking about that yesterday. I'm like, we only have about 10 episodes left before I have to figure out some other recurring question to add on to the end of our stream.
Yeah,
So
next year. What was your favorite game from this year?
What was that, Tyler?
I say, have you done this every episode?
Yeah, every episode.
Wow.
So when I first started Party Chat, we went through, I don't remember what generation we started with, but the last question was, what is your favorite game from the 2nd generation or 3rd generation? I don't remember what generation, but we went from the whatever generation I started with to the current generation. So that was only like, I don't know, like 6 or 7 episodes because I think we're only on like generation 9 or I don't even know how many generations are because I think of them as the consoles, not the generations. But I didn't want to limit it to just one platform because if you're like, hey, what was your favorite PS2 game? I never had a PS2, so I wouldn't have an answer for that. So I broadened it to the whole generation. And then after we ran out of generations, I want to say I started at 1990, and we've been every episode at the last question has been 1990, then 91, 92, and now we're all the way to 2015. So that's been the last question on every Party Chat since. So we're getting close to running out of years now. So I'll have to figure something else out to be the question that we end off with every episode. So
yes.
What about you, Tyler? And the other thing that I've been doing a little more recently on just this topic specifically is we each go around and give our favorite game from whatever year we're talking about, and then after we each give our favorite game, then we will go back around and talk about some other games that came out that year that we were big fans of. So, so what was your number one favorite game from 2015?
Number one favorite game, Ori and the Blind Forest. It was another one of those.
Good pick.
Yeah, another one of those surprise ones for me that I was not aware when I was starting at what it was, but it's actually the first Metroidvania that I played through, all the way through.
Ooh,
so
that's
it
a good
actually
place
got
to
me
start.
into that. Yeah, it got me into the genre, and any time I've played one after it, I always go back and kind of compare it to this. But yeah, I mean, it's just a great game. I know you know that, Neo.
Oh yeah,
I've seen. Yeah, I've heard you talk about it a little bit, but yeah, I mean, there's not much to not like about it. The gameplay is great. The art style is great. The ambience of the game feels cool all the way through. The story, even though there's no one talking, is it still tugs your heartstrings a little bit. So yeah, it's a full package of a game for sure.
Absolutely. So I'll go ahead and dovetail off of that because originally I put Ori and the Blind Forest as my favorite game of 2015 as well, but I had to change that a little bit because the original version of Ori and the Blind Forest came out in 2015. The definitive edition, which makes a bunch of like nice quality of life improvements, didn't come out till 2016, and that's the better version. So I decided to change my 2015 answer, but I'll talk more about it on the next episode. But yes, Blind Forest is a wonderful game, and it is definitely one of those games that absolutely qualifies. Like, this game is a piece of art. It is beautiful. So, but the game that I picked as my favorite game for 2015. Let me just make sure I am correct about this. Yes, this is what I was alluding to earlier when we were talking about Crackdown, because I said, it's one of my favorite like open world sandbox games. Behind this game is definitely my number one favorite like open world sandbox game, but also my favorite game from 2015, and that is Just Cause 3. You can see Rico Rodriguez right there below me in my background, and that is him from Just Cause 3. That is easily my favorite Just Cause game, and that game is just so much fun. Like Crackdown, it's a fun game to just boot up and just go blow stuff up. Steal cars or spawn cars, just drive them around, or vehicles, boats, planes. You got a crap load of different guns you can use. It's just a fun game to just mess around in. Every once in a while, I'll just, even though I've got all the achievements, I'll just boot it up and just go. Sometimes I'll just fly around with the wingsuit. Sometimes I'll just spawn some guns and just blow up civilians. It's just a fun game, even after you've completed it, to just go mess around in. But it's got a really beautiful open world. It's probably the prettiest of the Just Cause games. It takes place in like a kind of like a Mediterranean, and the game world is just beautiful. And it's got lots of cool mechanics. The grappling hook is one of the best grappling hooks in all of video games. You also have a parachute and a wingsuit, so you basically never need to touch the ground. The wingsuit, and then the first DLC, the Sky Fortress DLC, gives you a jetpack, so you really don't ever need to touch the ground because you have a wingsuit and a jetpack, and it makes you kind of like we were talking about with Anthem with the Iron Man suits. It's basically your Iron Man, but without an Iron Man suit, because you have a jetpack and you have guns and missiles and stuff, and it's awesome. So I love this game so freaking much. And if you like open world games, you just blow stuff up and had a lot of fun, definitely go give Just Cause 3 a shot, because it is a lot of fun. And it was actually my introduction to the Just Cause franchise. Not really, because I did play the original Just Cause way back when it came out. It was not a very good game, and so I wasn't really interested in Just Cause 2 or 3, and 4 wasn't out at the time. But I went over to my buddy's house, Rozik, who has been on the channel once or twice, and he had the game, and we just spent like all night just dicking around in the game, just like grappling people to like buildings and grappling cars to ceilings and stuff, and just like laughing our butts off. It was just so much fun. I was like, this game is hilarious. We had so much fun. I was like, I'm gonna go buy it. So next time it went on sale for like $5, I went and picked it up. And but at that point, I went back and I played 2 first, and then I played 3, and then when 4 came out, I played 4. So I have 100%. I was the first person on Xbox to have 100% in all 4 Just Cause games, and I would kill for Just Cause 5. I don't think it's going to happen. The Avalanche Studios have been having some behind-the-scenes issues, so I really doubt we'll get a Just Cause 5, but I would love to. But Just Cause 3 is just so much fun. I love that game so much. So that is my favorite game of 2015. So what about you, Carl? What's your favorite from 2015?
Yakuza 0.
Yakuza 0.
Yes.
So is that because basically everything I know about this franchise is what I've either learned from you or Mark when he used to be the co-host. Is that one of the more recent ones, or is that a remake of an older one?
It's a prequel to the mainline stories. It gives you more of a background for Majima and Kiryu, how they became the men that they eventually became.
And when did 0 originally release?
2015.
Okay, so it's a more recent-ish game.
Mm-hmm. It's 10 years old, so there you go.
Oh,
That's recent.
we're talking about 2015. Obviously, it came out in 2015. That was a stupid question.
Recent is a relative term.
Hey, when did it come out? We're talking about 2015. Obviously, it came out in 2015. I forgot that was the topic, so I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
2015. Okay, Yakuza 0, and yeah, go ahead.
It's just a really fun game. It takes place in Japan in the 1980s, and there's just a lot of insane stuff that kind of just continues that trend of Yakuza goodness. You know, you get much more of a good background story to Majima and Kiryu. I was combining their name together, Majima, Kiryu, Kojima, for some reason, I don't know. And it's just fun. I got hooked for hours doing the whole cabaret stuff, the whole turf wars with running a real estate empire, doing all the side stories and stuff like that. And the upgrade system is very unique in this game because it's all based on making a lot of money. And it's just a big play because in the 80s, a lot of people thought Japan was just going to take over the United States because they were just dominating the markets in many areas. And it was basically that 80s high was also out there in Japan too. And that was just one of the commentaries of the devs basically saying like, yeah, man, the 80s were great. Everyone just had money everywhere. And that, like I said, it separates it, you know, very much from the other Yakuza games, just in a lot of aspects.
Oh, that's why I was thinking. I just pulled it up, and there was a Yakuza 0 director's cut that just released a couple weeks ago.
I think it came out, you know, earlier this year.
On Xbox, it came out on December 8th, so just a couple weeks ago, but it might have come out on other stuff.
It came out on Switch first, yes.
Okay. That's probably why I was thinking of it being more recent than that.
Yeah. Because they were like starting to delist all the older games, but if you buy the upgrade, they don't take away your older game, they just give you the upgrade for free.
Okay.
So I thought that was cool. They did the same thing with the Red Dead collection as well. They didn't take away your 360 version, they just gave you the other version for free.
That's nice, yeah. When they release new versions and like take away the old versions, like WTF, that's bad. Not user friendly.
Yeah.
Consumer friendly. So, and the Yakuza 0, is that one of the real time or is that one of the turn-based ones?
That's a brawler.
The brawler one? Okay.
Yeah. The only ones that become turn-based are the 2 newer ones, Infinite Wealth and Like a Dragon.
Okay. So
Everything else is more of an action RPG.
Most of them are the real time. Okay. Cool. Oh shoot! I meant to go write down something, and I totally forgot what it was. So, all right. So, then that is your favorite from 2015. Did you have any others that you were a big fan of from 2015?
Fable 4, Until Dawn, and Life is Strange.
Oh yeah. I am a fan of Life is Strange games as well. That was also a previous topic on Party Chat. I remember it's like, what's a game that you like that most people wouldn't expect that you like? And I like those Life is Strange games. So,
yeah, the first one in particular, I thought was an interesting story. I recently, just for a Black Friday, I picked up the Life is Strange collection for the PS5. that has every one of them, including the brand new one, the double exposure.
Yeah, I remember when you posted that. I was like, I want to get that collection. Do you know? Does that collection exist on Xbox?
I mean, I don't know if it exists physically for Xbox. No, it doesn't exist physically for Xbox, but it might be on Xbox in general. I haven't
Yeah,
looked
like
into it
a
though.
bundle. Okay. Okay. So, all right. And Tyler, do you have any other favorite games from 2015?
I also wrote down Fallout 4 and Metal Gear Solid 5. Both very popular and big games. But what was that?
It's my
Dog.
dog.
Oh,
She wants attention. Harry.
that's funny. No, but yeah, I mean, so they don't really need any explanation. But Fallout 4 for me actually, it was kind of cool. So my dad does not play video games, but there's 2 games I've gotten him to play in his lifetime. One was Resident Evil 5.
Wow.
We played that co-op back in the day, and for whatever reason, I don't know what it was, but Fallout 4 like grabbed him, and he saw me play it one time, and he was like, "What is that?" And we actually for Christmas, me and my brothers went and bought him an Xbox and Fallout 4, and he played that game for like 5 years. It was the only game he ever put on that Xbox, but he really played it, and so it's just kind of like one of those cool things, you know.
You're going to
So it has,
introduce
like,
him
a
to
little-
Fallout 3 then.
Yeah, I tried to actually get him in all kinds. I tried to show him Skyrim. I was like, maybe it's a Bethesda thing, but no, I think it's the Fallout universe. He liked New Vegas, but he did not like 3 when we tried to show him that. I don't know if it was just too old or
It's
I
too
don't know.
ugly,
He liked
that's
New
what it
Vegas, so. But yeah, so Fallout 4 was my honorable mention.
Okay. Yeah, and looking at it, it does not look like that Life is Strange collection has a physical edition on Xbox.
It does not. I know that for a fact.
Okay. I was hoping that there was. So, okay.
They had a collector's edition for the OG Xbox One and PS4. I remember that. And it came with a soundtrack and some other stuff. I had it, but I don't know where it went.
So, all right. Well, we're just about to wrap up here, but Simone says good night. Have a Merry Christmas. Good night, Simone. Have a Merry Christmas. I'll see you later,
Merry
buddy.
Christmas. Very Merry Christmas.
So, a couple others that I was a big fan of from 2015. Another game that probably got a lot more hate than it deserved. I didn't think about it until just now, but was Arkham Knight. That was gameplay wise, arguably the best one in the franchise.
I gotta play
Still looks great.
Origins, right? That's what.
That's the WB Games one.
Yeah, that's the one that October Mike was playing. I was like,
Yes.
man, I gotta sit down and play that.
That one also Origins takes place at Christmas, so it's a perfect game to play at Christmas time.
I probably will start it on Christmas once I'm done rigmaroling with everyone.
Arkham Knight, however, takes place on Halloween, and I don't think Arkham Asylum or City take place on any special
No.
day.
Also, fun fact: all the Yakuza games are Christmas games.
Oh, okay. But yeah, Arkham Knight, that was a great game. A lot of people gave a lot of hate for the overuse of the Batmobile. I thought it was fun. Another one, I haven't finished it yet, but it's a sequel to one of my favorite platformers, which was N+. N++ came out in 2015, and it's still in my backlog. I've done about half of it, but I love that game. And then a little bit of a not a cheat answer, but a remaster of one of my favorite Metroidvanias came out in 2015. So that's why it's on the honorable mentions. That Shadow Complex remastered. That's I think that's my 4th highest ratio game that I've completed on Xbox, because it has some very tricky achievements for, like, I think the 2 really tricky ones was for beating it 100% in under 3 hours on Insane, and then there was an achievement for beating it with 100% on any difficulty in under 2 hours. So those were tricky, but I had no problem playing that because that game is in my top 5 Metroidvanias of all time. I love that game. But oh yeah, when we were talking about Ori, the sequel Ori and the Will of the Wisps takes everything that Blind Forest did and does it way better. So that is my single favorite Metroidvania of all time, and it's my number 2 favorite game of all time.
One of the nicer aesthetic collector's editions I own is that one.
So, but yeah, so those are my other favorite games that were released in 2015. So,
And Witcher
Yeah, and
3 was released in 2015 as well. Biggest.
Oh, it was?
Witcher 3, right? Most
Yep.
overrated.
Definitely most overrated.
Preach. I'm glad someone agrees.
I hate
we
the
won't burn
combat.
your podcast down with that. With those takes.
I just don't like the combat. I've
it
made
did
very
come out in
clear.
2015. Like I said earlier, I haven't played it yet. So that's why I would take it with me on my year without internet. But I think I'm gonna really enjoy that game when I get around to playing it.
I'm currently playing a game from 2015 too, Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Oh, and Super Mario Maker in 2015. Nice.
You were like one of the 3 people that owned a Wii U.
I did own a Wii U, yes. It was a terrible purchase.
I'm trying to get my Wii U fixed so I could play the only Paper Mario game that's still stuck on the Wii U.
Oh,
Which
I
one
didn't know
is
there was a
that?
game stuck on the Wii U. I thought they pretty much redid all of them.
Color Splash, I think it's called off the top of my head.
Okay, that does
Yeah.
sound familiar.
That's the only Paper Mario game still stuck on there.
So, all right. Well, that will do it for the final party chat of the year. So before we say goodnight here, we'll go around and let everyone plug their stuff again. So Tyler, thanks for joining us. It was a lot of fun. I think this is the first time we've been on stream.
Yeah, I think so.
So appreciate you coming and hanging out with us and talking video games. So again, go check out GameSHLF because it's awesome and I love it. And I love just being, a big guinea pig and helping him make it better. So tell us what you do, what you got going on, anything you want to plug.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me on. I do appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, go visit GameShelf.com. Free to sign up, jump in, start logging your games. Also, join the Discord. It's the best way to get new features on the site and also to report bugs if you find those there. Also, it's just a fun place to hang out. A couple guys in there that are just good guys to just jump in and have a general chat with. So would love to have you guys on the Discord.
I don't know if Carl caught this, but when you were on his show the other night, because I joined back in September when he had you on his channel, and then I immediately sent him a friend request, and he still hasn't accepted it.
It's because I haven't used the site. I'm waiting for the app. That's what I keep waiting for. I'm a guy that does most of my stuff on my phone. That's the only problem,
Yeah,
Yeah,
fair
that's
enough.
fair.
So, yep, GameShelf was awesome. Go check it out. Log your games, and join the Discord. And if you run into anything, this guy literally updates things on the fly. I'm like, hey, I run into this issue, and then literally 30 minutes later, he's like, all right, it's fixed. I'm like, holy crap. Or I'm like, hey, here's an idea. This might be a cool thing. Like a bunch of the things that I'm like, hey, I was like, here's an idea. He's implemented a bunch of them. So,
Okay, the Neo's got good ideas.
So he's doing good stuff over there, and I just want to see GameShelf grow a lot. And he's also helping me behind the scenes on what I am working on, which I am not not ready yet, is what I was trying to say to announce what that is. But we're hoping to launch in early summer. So when we get closer to that, I'll be announcing what that is. But he's also been a lot of help, kind of pointing me in the right direction, getting my project off the ground. So thank you for that as well. Always love hanging out with you and chatting with you. And I'm not going anywhere on the Discord. So thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me. Looking forward to being on again.
So, Carl, you got anything else going on that you want to shout out?
No, the channel's on holiday break right now, but we're posting just collector content. Today we posted our Assassin's Creed and Pokemon Steelbook collection that we have. Yesterday we did that was yesterday. Today we posted the Final Fantasy VII, Rome Total War, and not Rome Total War, the Total War and Doom Steelbook collection. So that's been posted today. Plus our other chats that we've done. Got some short content that I'm starting to put up more. Now that I've finally put my show account on my phone, so I can do that easier than what I was trying to do before. But yeah, that's basically about it. Go check out our older shows. Our Game of the Year talk, our top 2025 games that Neo and I played that were not from this year. And of course, the most anticipated 2026 games that we have out there as well. Good lists stuff out there. If you want recommendations, so on and so forth. We will have 2 new videos dropping tomorrow and on Christmas. And then next week we'll have some more content dropping after that.
All right. And then, yeah, so this is the last stream on my channel for the year. My next stream will be returning with the Metroidvania Monday on January 5th. At least that's the plan. I just finished Metroid Prime 4 today, so I don't know what I will be playing next. I'll probably put it to a poll. I pick a few games that I want to play and let people decide what the next game I play through on Metroidvania Monday is. And then the next thing I'll be doing will be backlog battling on the 7th over on your channel.
Mm-hmm.
So in addition to that, we haven't got it figured out yet, but Jason and I are planning on, once we can figure out what our new schedule is going to be, we'll be returning with top 5. And like I said, don't know what the date's going to be, but the first episode will be our top 5 2025 games, and that I put that in air quotes just because we did the exact same thing last year with top 5 2024 games, and that's just what games that we played in 2024, not necessarily has to be games that release in 2025, although those would also qualify if they were your favorite games that you played in the year. So that'll be the first episode of top 5 once we figure out what day we are returning with top 5, and then I will also be bringing back open mic, where I just have a guest on. We just talk about video games. So maybe when I revive that, Tyler, you can be the first guest on there. We'll see.
All right. I'd love to be on.
So thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us for episode 49. The first one of Party Chat next year will be episode 50. So that's cool. But thanks for hanging out with us for episode 49 and kicking off the end of 2025 with a bang. Everyone, have a great night. Have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we will see you in 2026. And we'll see you later. So everyone, have a good night. And in the meantime, game on.
Bye-bye.